Yo, yo, yo. I don't want to get too sad at the start, okay? I feel like the general thought
Okay, you're
is supposed to be the special Sunday celebration for the draft. Rookie drafts are going. I think there's some interesting landing spots, especially for some of these day 3 running backs. Was hoping that, maybe there were a couple of those were day 2 guys that got the interesting landing spots. But hey, Jeremy, overall, how you feeling about the draft in general and your rookie picks overall? And we'll get some mocks going soon.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of what we expected, except some of these later round prospects that we're hoping for, especially with, to me, I think the ending the first round with the Jadarian Price pick, which obviously not the perfect profile of a player, but amazing draft capital, amazing situation. You're like, okay, like maybe this class, maybe we get a couple of these where we feel good about it, where we're looking in and say, well, Jonah Coleman and Emit Johnson, all these guys that you're like, okay, if they, Eli Stowers, like if enough of these guys landed decent enough spots, you could feel good about it. And even like the Ty Simpson stuff, right? Ty Simpson, first round, 13th pick, you're like, wow, like maybe we have 2 quarterbacks. And then the Sean McVay stuff coming in, towards the second day, and you're like, wait a minute. Maybe there's some concerns here around the class. And then obviously we had a ton of players fall. We had a ton of weird picks, like Stribbling, where you're like, what the hell is going on here, man? Like,
I've seen Stribbling in the third.
Amazing prospects.
When this class season's insane, but like I'm kind of with it. It's definitely get your guy season, which always I think hits a point at some point in all rookie drafts, right? Once you start tapping into the 3rd and 4th round, we talk about hit rates with rookies, like it's so low. But now I think, dude, it's get your guy season at the 201. We're taking 4th round Dolphins receiver Chris Bell at the 201 for a lot of people, the 2nd Dolphins receiver drafted.
Yeah, and I saw something that was like the most wide receivers drafted through 3 rounds or something like that. But I mean, that stat is such like a blessed stat when you look at all the profiles and like how the draft was, and like we have so many landmines at the wide receiver position. Like not 80-90% of them probably won't be fantasy relevant, and that's me being nice and including the Tysons and the Lemons. And even then, like the Lemon landing spot, people hated. And there's still certainly issues you could see with that. But, and I think that's kind of the hard part. I have a couple 105s, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, Price, first round draft capital, or do I just go with hey, it's always been the big 3 wide receivers. I'm sticking with the big 3 wide receivers. I've also seen the stories report. I don't know if they're reports, but some people are believing Kirk Cousins is going to get a full year starting over Mendoza. And I've seen Mendoza fall to the 105 in some drafts because people are like, a guy that's sitting on, basically doing a Ty Simpson year. Mm-hmm. I think there's so many issues with all the prospects outside of maybe Tate that you just don't feel great hammering any of them. And even like I've seen Jeremiah Love go 102, like not even have the 101. I still think he's the one guy I feel good about, where it's like, just give me Jeremiah Love, he'll figure it out. Like, sure, the Cardinals are stupid, with the amount of guaranteed money they're giving him, and there are issues with the team where it's like, not only are we taking a quarterback or a running back, but then we're going to use our next pick on a quarterback, and like you're like, wait a minute, like you kind of just drafted a running back, which you didn't necessarily super need. Like that's kind of a luxury Ferrari in the trailer park type of imagery. And then you're like, hey, you know what we really need? We need a QB2. We need a good backup quarterback that we all know doesn't have a high ceiling. And it's like, I don't really know what that team is doing.
Yeah, but hey, on the bright side, we're going to be mocking, and rookie drafts are happening. That's like the bright side too. Like all the sadness from draft weekend, it all washed away when I saw the draft has begun for 2 of my rookie drafts so far. And we've got the Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie Daddy leagues starting tomorrow, rookie drafts. So I just sent you the link, Jeremy, to get into this mock.
I'll have to get in. Yeah,
I'll post this in the chat for anybody that wants to mock with actual landing spots. No crazy will graphics from Google Sheets on the stream. We are going to be using.
It doesn't hit the same with the G Sheet, without the what if this landing spot hit?
Yeah, but it's real, man. You're on the clock. The picks have to be made. No going back. What is up, Bucky? Boy, Buke 14. A non-Tuesday stream means I'm in the building live, not on the rewatch. What's up? And first one in the mock draft. Let's go. All right, how do you feel? I know you talked about Price a little bit. I saw him go as early as the 103 in a single quarterback league. To me, I think the Price conversation, I am still taking Lemon over Price. The tough thing with Price, man, you have to respect first round draft capital. And even if I think it was early second, like to a pretty open landing spot, like you have to respect it. Obviously the college production stuff, the receiving stuff is a little sketchy, but I think like we've seen a lot of running backs where, obviously receiving production in college doesn't necessarily equate to what we see in the NFL. But man, like I know like the Seahawks running back room feels like wide open. I don't know, man. Like Emmanuel Wilson's
tough,
not nobody.
Honestly.
Charbonnet's coming back from the injury. Like I just don't want to get too over my skis on a running back that, next season they're the ones that have the, Joe Mixon or, Rico Dowdle retread gets added to the room. And it's like, damn, like I took this over a first round receiver.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the hard thing too. And I know a lot of people read into, okay, well, Mekhi Lemon got like 70% of his work through the middle of the field, and Jalen Hurts can't throw through the middle of the field. And the way Jalen Hurts and Mekhi Lemon potentially will play together isn't necessarily the most optimistic or kind of like the best plug and play. But with all of those things considered, it's still a first round wide receiver. It's a profile that a lot of people liked. And it's not a terrible landing spot, right? It ain't the Jets, right? We're talking about an offense that usually is pretty efficient. We're talking about an offense that did draft Eli Stowers, but that's probably more of the Goddard piece of kind of winning off of his, kind of like the dependency on him. And then we know A.J. Brown's leaving. So it should be a relatively clear room for Mekhi Lemon to actually have some sort of involvement. And then you add in the additional wrinkle of they do like the hyper target on their players. Like when we've seen that offense click, it's been AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. That's basically all it was. Maybe some Dallas Goedert. Like that's kind of the best version of that Jalen Hurts offense. So I am optimistic, but it's certainly not like my favorite situation. I mean, we all are hoping for a Chiefs or something, like a situation where you're like, smash it. We just didn't get any of those outside of maybe the Price situation.
Yeah. I mean, we had we talked about it too in the last video when we were going through the like Jalen Hurts by at the 102. Like Goddard had 10 touchdowns last season. And like AJ Brown and Devonta Smith too have always kind of been in that low end wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 range. Like they get Stowers too, which I think it'll be interesting. Man, we didn't do the Sadiq versus Stowers. Have you had rookie drafts or seen like where those two are going? Mid first versus the second round draft capital. I've seen Stowers ahead of Sadiq.
I've seen people take Stowers ahead.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of with it. Lemon over Tyson. I right now, okay, post draft. I know I was a Tate Lemon. I do love
Tate Lemon.
I love the Saints landing spot for Tyson.
I do think that's a good spot for him.
Kellen Moore.
I mean, that being said,
motion rate stuff. Yeah.
That being said, this is the add extra wrinkle in our brain here. It is NBA, as Will probably doesn't want to dwell on. It is NBA playoffs. He's got the Detroit Pistons shirt on. It's not going well. But as someone that's lost to the Magic, I know. But both the Pelicans and the Saints are owned by the same team, and the Pelicans do have a historically terrible medical staff. And I am concerned that both Olave and Tyson have pretty extensive injury histories already out of the gate.
Yeah. All right, 109 here. I've got a 109 and a 110, and man, do I wish I had a top. I wish I had a top 8 pick here. I like Cooper. This is a 0.75 10 premium for anybody that is not with it. It is definitely between the tight ends and Cooper for me. There's a third name that is entering the late first combo for me, and I'm curious to see where he goes, so I don't want to bring it up yet.
Oh, buzzer beater.
Give me Stowers.
Dang. Stowers over Sadiq.
College production stuff. I think Sean Mannion taking over. Eagles. Doesn't play on the Jets. And I like Cooper too, which makes like the Sadiq stuff feel even worse for me. Garrett Wilson, Omar Cooper there. Browns
season. Panthers. Represent.
How early is get your guy season for you? Because this is a get your guy pick for sure. Like to me, it's like the 201 happens, and I'm like anything goes. I see any name that's like a third round receiver. I'm like, okay, I get it.
I think Cooper. I think Cooper, Sadiq, probably Denzel Boston, and then it's just like start throwing your darts.
Yeah.
Because Cooper does have first round draft capital. Denzel Boston's a decent profile, early second round. And then, Sadiq is first round draft capital, tight end. I know we hate the Jets. We hate the Browns.
Yeah.
If there's any takeaway from this draft, is it's just like the Jets and Browns. Like, it doesn't matter if it's Jeremiah Smith, if
I like KC
Green or
Brown,
take
KC.
You're just like, it's dead. Like, just take them out back. It's old Yeller situation. Like, they're done. And the sad part is like the analysis isn't super deep there, but you're probably right. You're just being like, I don't want to touch a Brown or a Jets. Like that's just historically been right because those organizations just never figure it out.
I still will take like KC to me, man. I don't know if you started. We're gonna be recording and posting I think we'll probably go at least 2 rounds in our rookie draft video on the channel. And man, I'm starting to put together the rankings, and I have never, because I'll even make my own rankings, even for the past couple seasons, just for my rookie drafts, for all picks across the board, just to kind of figure out tiers and ranges that I like. And dude, I have never moved around players so much, like from watching the NFL draft happen, Stribbling at the 203 there. But man, okay, so Singleton at the 112. That actually is not the name. Jonah Coleman is, I think he's creeping up into my late first.
I could see it. And I know some of the hype. So there's some camp hype around it. Man, it is. Yeah, it really is like, what do I even do at this spot? Like, I don't. And like, I kind of just go back on like my old processes. But I do think here, I kind of like this landing spot. I know there's a ton of tight ends. But they run a ton. They use a ton of tight ends. Like and I know they brought back basically everyone. They brought back Higbee and Parkinson and all of them. But to me, I'm like, in tight end premium, it's probably a pretty easy path for this to actually work out in my favor.
Yeah, the Rams, the press conference, I'm talking about needing to have 5 tight ends active on game day. And that's another thing too. We didn't talk much about it at the start, but I know Gladstone talked about it. I think with how you saw the NFL draft play out in the second and third round with a lot of those blocking tight ends coming off the board, I do think like the heavy personnel trend. I mean, the NFL's a copycat league, like going back to like the 2 high shell stuff. Now with the heavy personnel stuff that we saw with the Rams and some of these other elite teams deploy, like the Jags talking about the way they approach the draft. I think maybe you could point to some of the receivers going a little bit later based off of that, where I think maybe it was Gladstone was talking about the run that you usually see on receivers go in that second round. They were projecting there to be a heavier run of tight ends in that kind of range, and that's kind of how it played out a little bit. But I'm not going to spend too much time. Antonio Williams, awesome landing spot with the Commanders. Still the question marks about the Josh Downs of it all. And actually, speaking of Josh Downs, some initial buzz that maybe we'll see if we'll get some Josh Downs 2 wide receiver set stuff. See if he can play on the outside. That would be exciting. Skyler Bell, the 212. All right, Emit Johnson at the 211. I don't hate some of these running back landing spots. I mean, obviously, Emit Johnson's not the
KC.
type. Like DeMarcado, like he beats out DeMarcado and has that kind of third down role. Like I think I was expecting that role to be taken from some running back in the room, whether it be Brashard Smith or DeMarcado. What if it's Emit Johnson?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's one of my. I do think the Coleman spot is probably more of that better sleeper pick of like, okay, yeah, I could see taking him early second, late first. I don't think I would ever get there with Emit Johnson, but I do think he is like a second round. I feel pretty confident locking him in. This is where it gets hard. I mean, we're in the third round at this point. It is scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Oh, the auto pick Nuss. I was hoping to not have to talk about Nussmeier going to the Chiefs. I heard some stuff about like character issues. Like, I don't know. I was watching shout out to the Destination Devi guys being live for all the rounds. And they were talking about some like scout or something was talking about the quarterbacks in the classes. And maybe, I think it was Ty Simpson. They said, like, love the guy, don't love the player. And it was the opposite with Nussmeier, where it was like kind of like the player, but like hate the person. So I wonder if some of that drama, I don't know if the drama pushes you all the way to almost being undrafted as a quarterback, but not the third round draft.
It's gotta be pretty bad.
The Nuss supporters were hoping for. How do you feel about these QBs? Like, are you willing to take like the Becks? We haven't seen Drew Allar or Clubnik, but obviously getting the Steelers and the Jets landing spots respectfully. Are those like mid to late second guys for you? Just with how this class is versus taking the wide receiver shots?
I'd probably say no, because I'd probably be more inclined to reach for a tight end and assume that as more teams start shifting towards heavier personnel, I can get more out of it, especially in a tight end premium.
I like the branch.
If it was like wide receiver or quarterback, I think I'd probably lean towards some of these wide receivers. Like, I think the case for Bernard or Antonio Williams is higher than the case for like a Clubnik or someone like that. Like, there's not a ton of guys, maybe outside. Like, I could see some of the deeper guys being somewhat interesting dart throws on like round 3, like a Drew Allar, but I don't think I'd probably try to reach at either running back, tight end in the second versus trying to stash a quarterback.
All right. I'm going to let you make your pick, and then I'm going to hit some of these
now.
chats.
You know what? This might be the single offensive biggest loser of the entire draft, but I got to take the combine darling. Not only did he get picked, like he fell far, but Vegas spot is tough with Jeanty there. You just know there's not a ton unless Jeanty gets injured, which obviously we don't want to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I do think he'll be. I like any consideration. I mean, obviously you get a tough 2-round gap between KayTron Allen and Washington, but any thoughts just in the terms of running back situation going like KayTron or even like Claybourne, who gets the Vikings landing spot, granted in the 7th round?
I mean, I did think about KayTron because sitting there, I was like, coming into the draft, I thought Jeremiah Love was prime to go to the Commanders. And the fact that JCM kind of survives that, but we saw JCM wasn't like bulletproof off of basically having an empty backfield last year. So I don't hate the idea of saying, hey, let me take one of these dart throws in a weak running back room. And KayTron Allen certainly has a shot at winning that out.
All right. I kind of got sniped on my Raritan pick. Actually, I mean, I imagine he goes earlier. The 3-7 here. I think it's kind of a pretty interesting landing spot coming off the ACL injuries. As far as like the tight end upside bets, man, all the tight ends that we were taking in all these mock drafts, hoping for these good landing spots. And yeah, I don't know, man. There's a couple that I still like. I probably would have considered Delp is still on the board.
I do like Delp.
I do like the Saints landing spot.
And Joly, NC State.
Yeah,
fanboy here, but I think the Denver spot isn't like he isn't buried. It can totally be a relevant.
I looked this up. I wanted to have a fun stat. I'm turning into the fun stat guy.
I
should have taken one of these quarterbacks. I was just talking about it. All right. who had more tight end touchdowns? Who had the most tight end touchdowns for the Denver Broncos last season? It's not yeah, it's not a mega fun stat, but it was almost a mega fun stat.
Oh man, I have no idea.
All right, so Evan Ingram, obviously would be the favorite.
Evan Ingram was the big name.
Most receptions.
Noah Fant? Sure. Was Noah Fant still there?
Oh no. I got you.
I don't go that deep.
It is the funnest three-way tie. That's the fun stat. All right. Evan Ingram had one touchdown last season.
Three-way tie.
Adam Troutman had a touchdown last season. And Nate Atkins had a touchdown last season. It was almost an awesome tight end touchdown score stat. All right, I took black here.
Trade the San Francisco was getting off of Evan Ingram.
Yeah. It is a 49ers tradition for them to draft a running back somewhere between the third and fifth round that everybody takes in the mid to late second in fantasy. So I took him at the late third. Not a huge. Oh my gosh, I almost call myself not a huge black guy. But which is true. I am not a huge black guy.
Oh man. Okay, clip that.
I should have just went for it. But I think landing spot wise, but I would have gone Allar. And probably even Delp too. I've got them pretty close in the initial rankings that I'm working through.
I do like. Okay, you know what's getting crazy here? Dare I say there might be a QB1 still on the board.
Oh, don't do it.
Mel Kiper wouldn't like this, but
that's not my QB still on the board. I was gonna take.
You gotta get deep, but it's weak. It's that's Cleveland Browns quarterback room is pretty much wide open. I mean, you got a Deshaun Watson, the ghost of Deshaun Watson, Shadur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel.
I have not been following the UDFA signings too closely. I know big names or at least interesting names to people like Caldwell went to the Chiefs. I've been following obviously the Lions guys.
I know the Panthers picked up the Georgia Tech guy, Haynes King.
Yeah.
But he's not a great passer, so I doubt he'll be much of note. Dang, Will Greer's still on the Panthers roster? That's crazy.
All right, between two names right here. The Pittsburgh Steelers future starting slot wide receiver who's currently listed as a running back, or future preseason stud Cole Payton for fantasy purposes.
I feel like Cole Payton to me. Okay. Never mind. I do feel like Cole Payton, all you need is one or two preseason plays, and there's gonna be that one guy that's just hey man.
It's kind of
I might go for it.
It is a it's a worse version of I kind of want to look up ADP before I call this out. Actually, let me pull up a chat. I said I was gonna pull up some chats too. Yo, what's up, Football Key? How we doing? We're definitely gonna be ripping these guys. Change your spots. We're going all over the board. While I'm getting this next one ready, anyone willing to trade? Anyone trading the 101 and 104 for Bowers in a 1.75 tight end premium, and it's a rebuilding roster. Is that too much? Jeremiah Love and potentially Tyson or Price or another receiver. I'm gonna toss it over to you. I'm getting the board set up.
Yeah, I mean, I do think this is a tight end premium that you would potentially care about it. I probably would say, where's your state of the rebuild? If it's super desperate for talent, I still think the 101 with Jeremiah Love is probably worth it to just take the two shots of Love or Tyson or one of those wide receivers and see what the upside is there, because both of those shots are pretty solid prospects. I think outside of the three big wide receivers, for Mendoza and Love, those are the true blue chip prospects, and I still would rather take two shots on those than have Brock Bowers on a team that's all trash. Now, if the team is, hey, maybe we're just one or two pieces away, then I would say, okay, yeah, this might make more sense because Love on the Cardinals doesn't really have a scoring upside probably next year that we hope for. And Tyson is someone that might take a little bit to fully get integrated into the offense, given his injury history, given he's wide receiver too, and we got that whole Shuck offense hopefully rolling and grooving like we saw towards the end of last year. So I think it's kind of situational. I think it's pretty fair, all things considered. But I would lean the package of picks just because those are still two high-end shots at landing blue-chip talent.
All right, I just sent you the next mock. I'm going to post that in the chat in a second. Let's bang some of these out. Okay, but how does the Bijan trade look now after the draft? All right, I'm happy I waited. Maybe Tricky Trev is playing Rocket League right now and not listening to this while I answer this. Chat, are we concerned about Harold Fannin? Just with the obviously the Broncos, I think there was expectations we were going to see a receiver going Casey and Boston. Just looking at the wide receiver room last year, obviously new scheme with Monk in there, this being the first class. Any concerns that we're not going to see the target volume? Or do we think that overall improved offensive efficiency, quarterback a year or two from now, this will all be water under the bridge? And more so, not necessarily like Fannin is worthless, get him off your roster for, any tier down to, tight end 8 through 10. But like, are you interested in pivoting to like Laporta? Yeah, seeing if you can get a plus on Laporta or something like that.
I mean, if I can get a plus on Laporta, I would certainly do that. Just because I trust the Lions offensive situation to be better. But that being said, I'm not too concerned about Fannin. We still need to see both Denzel Boston and KC hit in the NFL. And they're not bulletproof prospects. Like, it wasn't like, oh, man, they got Tate and, Mekhi Lemon. It's okay. They got a little bit more spotty prospects. I do like KC. His drops are a concern. That's something he can certainly fix up. And then Denzel Boston could just be another Keon Coleman, all things considered. He's a similar type of prototype, which obviously I hope he develops into someone that is not like a Keon Coleman, but his prototype has enough red flags where I'm not saying, okay, the number one receiving option on a bad team. I don't want that still, especially at the tight end position where you get the extra premium in a lot of leagues. Having a guy that's going to see 5 to 10 targets a game, even if the offense is bad, I feel confident that Harold Fannin is properly valued, maybe a little overvalued, but not like the floor will fall out.
Yeah, totally fair. It's I mean, obviously, I won that trade, getting Loveland and Bijan, but we don't need.
Well, Tricky Trev doesn't. I don't see Tricky Trev around chat anymore, so I think he's starting to kind of.
He needs to be. I mean, if he wants
come to the realization,
great.
He needs to study up, pen and paper out.
What's up, DJ? Don't forget to give a like to these guys doing great too. Hey, appreciate it. Definitely. We always forget to do the like. We're within 30 minutes. I remember to do the everyone drop a like. So do it. Let the execution mean something, guys. Actually drop the like. Smash it, perhaps. Are we smash the like people? Smash it. Smash the like button, guys.
Smash the like button.
And we are also going to be live Tuesday. So I know we've got some live stream masks in the Discord, link in the description, but we'll be live Tuesday as well. Ripping some mocks. I will have some of my actual rookie mocks to go through. Maybe get some info on what I'm seeing.
I have one live
leagues.
right now.
Let's go. How far are you?
I think we're at the end of the first round.
Dang, okay. Anything?
I tried to see how desperate. Oh, anything interesting? Yeah, I can. Oh, yeah.
I had an auto
first
pick
overall pick was Fernando Mendoza. First overall pick was Fernando Mendoza. Love was second. I had the 104, so I ended up with Tyson. I tried to trade up to the 108 to take Price. And I was like, I'm just going to send all. I was like, I don't know if it will work, but I have like 5 picks in this year's draft. I'm like, I'm just going to send them all. Like, will you move back 8 spots? And I just want Price. But I got the rejected. I got countered 2 seconds when one was a 27. And I was like, I'd rather just hold on to that than take the Price bet. So
All right, mock
But nothing
draft.
too. I guess
number 2 is
who's this? Jonah Coleman, 112. I guess that's interesting.
That I mean, right now,
And Price 109. Price fell pretty far in this one.
Jonah Coleman is my 202 right now, and if I gave out rankings, no, he's my 202. He's my 202. I have him ahead of Chris Bell. And obviously,
Yeah, I trust that, especially with how the Broncos utilize running back. I expect Jonah Coleman to get some usage, even if it's just kind of like the ugly Ollie Gordon type production where you're like, oh, he's on the field, but it's nothing super exciting. It's still probably better than the other players in that range.
Honestly, the sleeper ADP is bad, Riley, but I expected it to be way worse, to be honest, especially like first day after NFL draft concludes. So like obviously you still have Nussmeier was the one that's like a glaring like, oh my gosh, like you need to tank this man. He is the Chiefs backup quarterback.
I will say I don't know if you're showing the comment, but the Stribbling still ADP 999. Is that technically right?
That is hilarious. I didn't even see that. Dude, that is crazy.
Because the Stribbling...
I'm curious to see all these Stribbling. I mean, okay, at what point is it early second round receiver to an offense we love versus wide receiver that advanced metric wise college production does not look anywhere near the bets we want to make in fantasy?
Yeah. That's kind of the he's like the extreme case of Matthew Golden. Where it's like last year, Matthew Golden had draft capital that didn't really reflect his college production. And everyone was like, okay, like he is a first round wide receiver, but how much faith do we put into that? And like, even if you think about that, last year he was going at like the 203. Like there's so many other interesting prospects with Loveland and Warren. Like there's so much that you're like, I'd take over a first round wide receiver. And then we have Stribbling, and I'm like, I think Stribbling is still going to be kind of early third. I mean, like no one really wants to take that.
Like
bet.
I mean, I'm taking. I don't know. Am I crazy? You guys, let me know if I'm crazy. I am taking all the running backs through KayTron Allen before I take Stribbling. And I think it's a little bit of, I know I'm making a bad bet, but I get to pick the bad bet that I make. And I think that's kind of what this mid-second and on feels like in this class.
Will they
pick your favorite
make
bad bet.
Stribbling work? Will they make him work? Like, do you think they're going to be like, oh, man, I opened up Twitter. Everyone's, like, making fun of my AI comments, being like, oh, Stribbling, it's an early second rounder. They're kind of like, we're just going to force feed this guy.
I don't know, man. Did the Chiefs make Sky Moore work? Like, you got to be good to be good in the NFL, right, guys? I don't know. Take Stribbling below that? All right, that's fair. 100% fair. Let me know which running backs. Like, are you taking Stribbling behind Coleman but ahead of Singleton, KayTron Allen? Who am I missing? I had a good spot. I mean, I'm not really talking about Mike Washington or... Dang, nobody wants the first thing. Does anyone want the 112? I'm willing to be any of these spots. I'm just kind of moving around the board.
We got two spots left.
Let me know if you're not joining because you want the 112. And let me know why the hell you want the 112. If maybe it's a champ, champ wants to practice their 112. I get it. Coleman Singleton was my decision. That pick could go either way. The Coleman stuff is a little bit more, I mean, I don't know, like we don't have much to lean on with these landing spots draft capital wise when we're talking about like fourth rounders versus fifth and sixth round running backs. But
yeah, it's all the same in that range.
I don't know, in terms of like, all right, let's go. In terms of what I believe is the most likely outcome, to me, Sean Payton last year saying, I want to stop playing Jaleel McLaughlin. I don't trust RJ Harvey between the tackles. I kind of like him in his gadgety role. And like, we'll see if Coleman can compete. And, a year or two from now, he's, he could snatch up what J.K. Dobbins did for that Denver team last year. Plus, potentially. And he's pretty good. I mean, pretty good pass protector too. Like, I think Coleman has upside and has a decent landing spot, decent draft capital.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think Coleman is the Dobbins insurance policy.
All right, Love, Mendoza, Tate. Let's go. Game over. Where are you taking Price, Kai? Where's Price ranked for you? Yeah, the thing, if Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears are there this season, I think it's probably more likely that we see Coleman, to be honest. But I do think that I think we're having a similar conversation. What about KayTron Allen? Worst draft capital. You got Rachaad White, JCM there, but we saw Chris Rodriguez, leading that team in snaps last year. Our LA talk. Cooper, the 107 there. What was that, the 201 pick in the last mock?
I think so. Yeah, Cooper.
I think he needs to be a first rounder. I'm curious.
I do agree. I think to me he's like 110, 111. I could see him going up to the 107. This is kind of a big range of like, okay, do I want to bet on the quarterback that doesn't have buy-in from the Sean McVay and is a first rounder? Do I want Kenyon Sadiq on the Jets? Do I want Stowers? Do I want one of these guys that you don't feel great about? So I don't sit here and blame him. I feel like, to me, I feel like Price has to be the 106 in my mind right now, just because he's a running back. When I'm looking here, though, I'm just going to go quarterback. You get the insurance policy. You get the Michael Penix, who's the other quarterback that recently got picked for a whole year? I'm blanking on it. But like Michael Penix, like we draft him and he sits there. I think it was like 2 years ago. And I will say none of them have worked out, but it's just like you get basically a guy that sits on your taxi squad and has a value of, okay, a late first round pick.
All right, this is my 112. I'm clicking at the 112. Stribbling.
Denzel Boston.
It's so I don't think you can talk smack about any pick. Maybe at any point, but I think for sure when like the 201 happens, if this name was Chris Bell, Jonah Coleman, Stribbling, like I am kind of like,
Payton.
What? Maybe you're right.
Yeah, you're like, your guy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Singleton was a first round pick last year or last mock, and we're like, yeah, I mean, sure.
Right. All right, this is can't take any RB after the first rounders, Love and Price, Singleton, and Coleman, and any other RB shouldn't be taken until late second based on draft capital landing spots being crowded, in my opinion. Tony, I think this is correct. And then I show you, and then I feel like I look over and I look at all the wide receivers, and I think the similar hit rates to running backs taken in the 4th, 5th, and 6th round, you can apply to 3rd round receivers. And some of the 2nd round receivers, we've got like Jeremy Bernard to the Steelers. And I'm like not even a huge Bernard guy. What else we got? We've got all those tight ends, like that big tight end.
Antonio Williams.
I mean, Antonio Williams, the W pick. I took him at the 209. Insane value. Antonio Williams, guys. I'm taking him ahead of all these receivers.
I'm surprised Antonio Williams wasn't 112.
I do kind of like Boston. I've got a thing for like big boys, and then I love Antonio Williams, little boy.
Jesus Christ!
Sorry, go ahead, take your pick.
I have a thing for big boys. Speaking of big boys, Brazel got to do that. The Panthers homer pick here, and again, Brazel was another one that was a late first rounder in our first mock. And I think that's where you see the tiers. Is the tiers from like kind of the, I don't know. I mean, I probably would say 112, but even like 110 on, it's just kind of like everyone's like, I don't know.
Yeah, this is
just go get your guys.
The scoff was how much I like Antonio Williams and the landing spot versus the other 3rd round receiver bets. Ooh, I like the branch pick. Oh, man. This is where... All right, the QB is here. I think, like, the late second...
Right, I do agree. The branch has options for targets right out of the gate.
I don't hate these tight ends. Like, I'm kind of, like, considering... Honestly, one of each position. Baltimore guys. Dude, Baltimore taking both Surratt and Lane, like, it really frustrates me. All right, I'll do it.
Drew Allar.
212 Drew Allar. Yeah, I was thinking Drew Allar in the...
I was like 4th rounder.
Mid-late second.
First mock.
Amen. One more ayahuasca trip, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback week 1. This is like the...
You're not wrong.
I mean, it's not the same thing as Tyler Shuck last year, because that was a second-round quarterback. But I think in terms of
there's very different.
People's opinion on the prospect, I do think it's a similar type of thing. Now, I think it's a different bet making at the end of the second in this class versus the end of the second last class. But
I think post-injury and no development through college is my biggest concern with Allar. Allar does have the upside of like all he does is like one amazing Anthony Richardson bounce back in the pocket, bomb an 80-yard touchdown. Yeah, then you might be able to flip him. So I could see the angle to pick him, but I don't think long term he's a player I trust or believe in.
I think like in terms of like dynasty market bet wise, like the players we're taking right now in this class. Okay, so like KayTron Allen, like there is, and that's kind of like why I like leaning into some of these running back bets, even with like the 4th, 5th, 6th round draft capital. Like there is an outcome year 1 where you are kind of cashing out and getting value. I think a lot of these receivers, and like I love Antonio Williams, but like the most likely outcome is the most likely outcome, honestly, even all through even Denzel Boston at the 112. Like I think the most likely outcome is you don't want to start any of these guys year 1. And yes, wide receivers like hold value if they're, on the field and are, 80% snap share, route share guys for, the first year of their season. And then we kind of have the hopium with the situation for the Browns and the Jets. But I think it's the same kind of impact to my team bet with like these quarterbacks like Beck and Allar, like no matter how much you don't like them. And I think in Superflex, Spencer Rattler type beat, cashing out on that for, second round pick.
I know there's some crazy Spencer Rattler trades in the trade database there.
Yeah. All right, where are we going here?
Here I got to go with my homer pick. It really is get your guys, and I'm just gonna lean into some of the format here. I didn't realize Michael Trigg was a UDFA. I know we had a question of favorite UDFAs.
Oh yeah, I think McAllister
certainly someone.
I know McAllister off the field wise is a little sketch for people, but in terms of like pure profile production stuff, he's a pretty fun UDFA guy. I'd take a bet on. All right, Washington should be the highest drafted Jeanty, backup, and Johnson as well. The issue, and I kind of do like Washington. I do think that Kubiak will use multiple running backs. I mean, obviously, if you just look at last season with Seattle.
Saw that in Seattle, yeah.
But I think the gap between Jeanty and Washington is like, my arms cannot reach how far like college
you need the
profile production
wingspan for that.
Right. Versus Charbonnet, what Charbonnet does and what Kenneth Walker did last season. But Emit Johnson's interesting.
Charbonnet's like a 6 out of 10, and Kenneth Walker's like an 8 out of 10.
I don't think if Kenneth Walker got hurt, I don't think it's like one of those running backs. Honestly, any of them, like DeMarcado, Emit Johnson, Rashard Smith. I don't think any one of them is like, this is the new Kenneth Walker and there's another third down back. I think that is very much a rotation because I don't think any of those guys. And honestly, it might be, what was that guy? Oh, man. Carson Steele.
Jam Miller.
You remember the Carson Steele days? Oh,
the hype was real, man. The hype was real.
We need to look back at some Carson Steele trades when he had like that one game runway. All right, I'll go down here.
I wish we could do a like redrafting the 2024 draft or something, like some off-season content.
I almost took Delp at the 212. I probably would have gone KayTron at the end of the second. The Saints landing spot, the Delp production stuff. I mean, I've talked about it a couple times when I bring up Delp is tough, but that Georgia offense was a little wonky. to say the least.
You got your soundboard?
What, when I'm talking about the 4 players I really like? Oh! What's good? I do not have the soundboard. We fly, Ola, you know this. Ballin'. Thank you for the super chat. Rebuild team. Dart, Shuck, Bryce, Jeanty, Tootin, Harvey, Parker Washington, Higgins, Aiyuk, Warren, and AJ Barner. I had the 101, 102. Should I trade the 101 for 103, Cam Ward, and a 27 first? Likely 4 through 5. Take Tyson stacks. Oh, is this a rebuilding team? Is this a rebuilding team after this draft? I don't. Is this a dude? I think you add love to this
fully
team.
Rebuild.
I don't know if this is a rebuilding next team. Year.
I'm curious the format.
How many starters are we talking, Landry? Because if this is like a start,
if it is a more shallow league, then you're going to need those hammers, and Parker Washington, Higgins might not.
But hear me out.
Be enough.
Hear me out. Dart, Chuck. Okay, whatever. Bryce, Jeanty, Love, Tootin potentially, Parker Washington, Higgins. You get me like 1 or 2 wide receivers, and then Tyler Warren, tight end. Like that's a team that could easily sneak in as the 4th, 5th, 6th seeds, I think.
Superflex, 3 wide receivers. We're piecing it together.
All right, I've got 5. We've got at least 5 players are being started. How many running backs? And then any other thing that's funky with the flexes, or just the total number of starters. All right, last pick here. Okay, all the quarterbacks that I would potentially take are gone.
Yeah, where's the Will sleeper pick?
Andrew's going to Cincinnati.
That's not a terrible spot.
Not, man. Xavier Thomas being a 3rd-round receiver, like, yeah, it's the Bears, but the 4-12. There's Eric McAllister. Shout out.
Yeah, Xavier Thomas.
Brendan Thomas is fast.
Who?
All right, how would I actually draft here? Probably injuries. None of the... Okay, Black went, Randall went, Heidenreich went.
I have no bench, and I'm tanking for Smith and Cam Coleman. Yeah, I mean, I would probably... I kind of lean towards the package. So he said he just sold Josh Allen, CMC, Josh Jacobs, and went full rebuild. I mean, to be honest, if you do want to go full rebuild, there's probably some other points you got to shave off this team. Like, it's not a terrible team. Unless it's like an 8-team, a 10-team league where you start 7 players, and then you are going to need to have like Jamar Chase, Drake London, Josh Allen, CMC. You're going to need guys to compete. And I could see this being a bad team in a shallower format where there's a ton of loaded teams. And if that's the case, I kind of lean towards get me 3 potential shots on, I mean, mainly 2. I mean, with the quarterbacks you have, Cam Ward's probably not going to be a super viable high-end fantasy score, but another chance at the early 27, and you get to just stack wide receiver and hope you can kind of build out that room with the Washington, Higgins, and Aiyuk, which, to be honest, I mean, I assume that's not T. Higgins based on the order. So you're probably not sitting there with like
Parker
solid
Washington, Jaden Higgins. You're saying okay.
Yeah, Parker Washington's your wide receiver 1. Gotcha. So I kind of lean take the package. Let me shoot for the upside of the 27 class. It gives me the flexibility too that if I do want to buy it, like go in all in, I can also do that. But I don't know. I go back. I mean, I like Jeremiah Love a lot, so I don't.
It's and I'm 100% like unless like my team needs it.
Jaden Higgins.
I do like leaning into like only 1 year rebuild in the turning round. All right, I'll get another mock going. Landry, if you want, if you're not in the Discord, get in there. If you want to post the link or just your sleeper.
Yeah, if you got your league ID, your sleeper league ID, we can pull it up and kind of see the whole league and be able to give you a little bit more specific. But the more I sit on it, I think I'm leaning.
It's a good offer.
Kind of, it is a good offer. I think I'm keeping Love. Now that I think about it more, just because I want blue chippers, and Jeanty Love is a core you can build around. I have a pick this year. I'm probably shooting to rebuild next year, so Love isn't someone that I need to really rely on from a scoring perspective.
Mm. All right, I'm doing mock draft number 3.
Pick. I'm gonna pick 105. I need to get some practice, get some reps.
All right, I know I'm a little behind on these Jets guys. My apologies. All right, we talked about the Emit Johnson thing a little bit. So we're trading for him if I own Walker. Okay, the handcuff stuff, I'm not a huge fan of unless I am 100% confident in the situation. Like, I kind of went out of my way to get Brian Robinson when I had Bijan, just because I feel like with that current running back room, I'm fairly confident if Bijan goes down, Brian Robinson. But I think I'd much rather not overpay asset-wise. Like, if you're moving like a future third or something to make sure you can get Emit Johnson, I'd rather just keep the pick and then, use those picks to adjust the running back position should Kenneth Walker go down for my team. Even if it's only a couple weeks of the flavor of the week, be it, Rico Dowdle, whatever, Chuba Hubbard. Those are probably a little bit more expensive, but you're picking on what I'm putting down.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it's like also just I want shots and offenses that utilize their running backs in ways that actually matter, like Kimani Vidal, for example. It's like we know what that kind of looks like. Is that okay? That's going to be a viable starter if he does play, versus like, oh, let me go and grab a random committee guy. And then, I mean, like even like JCM last year wasn't super viable a lot of weeks, and he kind of had this Chris Rodriguez, Jeremy McNichols, like it was kind of this revolving door. And even though like preseason you'd been like, oh, I have, JCM or something like that, you'd feel better about. There's a lot of guys where it's I want to know that if the injury does happen, they're going to truly just be like, hey, Rico Dowdle, you're going to touch the ball a million times a game. We don't really care about working in Trevor A-Chain into the entire workload.
Wow, went with the brother. Gave respect to the special teamer. Good work. I guess he's the Carolina guy. Yeah.
He did fumble in the playoffs, so I don't know if I should.
Yeah.
Never mind. Back to ETN. He's got to earn it.
McDaddy Pro. How we doing? In a 12-team start 10 single quarterback, currently have an offer for the 101 on the table, trading away BTJ, Irving, and a 27 first. Have a good amount of starters, but it seems steep. What do you think? All right, single quarterback does make it more interesting. But, man, would you just keep BTJ, Irving, and a first? I do love Jeremiah Love.
I think so. Because Irving,
12 by 10.
BTJ, 12 by 10, one quarterback, wide receiver, running back are the most important positions. Hey, I have a good running back, a good wide receiver.
Yeah.
I have a 27 first. I don't want to overpay, because the worst thing you want to do is overpay, and then Jeremiah Love is not everything that he's hyped up to be, or the situation is awful, and we're like, oh my God, like Bucky Irving was pretty phenomenal, and BTJ rebounds, and there's so many options that the package can win that I'd just rather lean that way.
All right, do we want to switch up the format, like tight end premium or anything? I mean, 0.75 I feel like is a kind of like the in-between, or do you think it does not matter that much and I should stop wasting time and answer people's questions?
I'm going to lean towards the latter, just because I think the only thing that we can really change to mess with the format would be boosting the tight end premium a lot to make tight ends overvalued, or making it one quarterback, and then Fernando Mendoza just goes at the 1.9 instead of the 104.
Steezus, I would need to know the format to take the Brees 108 side, but I know people are down on Miami, but give me A-Chan for Brees in the 108.
Hey, that's tough coming from a Brees stand, but yeah, I agree. I mean, A-Chain.
Yeah.
A-Chain. Every time I see A-Chain now, I'm like, is it actually ETN? I'm like getting it reversed.
Devon
A-Chain
ETN
is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, if it was like juicy tight end premium, deep league, and the 108 carries more upside with like you're making those tight end bets or something, yeah, you could talk me into it, but give me the running back, not on the Jets. Single quarterback. Wilter.
I'm sorry. I just love that half the analysis is like, if it's the Jets or the Browns, like just don't even try to think about it. Like just you don't want them on your team.
The only thing with single quarterback, like I'm totally down to do like single quarterback mocks, but all that's really changing to me is like Ty Simpson's kind of interesting. And then it's like even Clubnik, or not Clubnik, but like Carson Beck, Allar, and then obviously Clubnik too later. Like it's still kind of like mid-second at best. So I don't think it's as interesting as some other classes where there's 3 quarterbacks in the first round and we really get to kind of shake up that range. Dang, I don't think I've said no. I kind of feel bad. My bad, Wilter. That was kind of rude. All right, Coleman to Denver. What does it do to Dobbins specifically? Yeah, I mean the Dobbins thing is tough too. Like, I mean 4th round running back. Like we should not pretend like Coleman has solidified a role in the Denver rotation, but it was a backfield that used multiple running backs or 3 running backs with, shout out to Audric Estime, the time he had there.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that can get into it.
McLaughlin has like had a role consistently, albeit a small one, in that backfield. So I think Coleman will be in the rotation, and the fear is, he's hashtag better than Jaleel McLaughlin, and Sean Payton wants to have him kind of split that load. Pause.
I mean, these are very different players, but I mean, Bucky Irving was like a 4th round pick too. So like, it's not that, like don't overhype a 4th rounder, but it's also don't sleep on it. It's not like it's a 7th rounder that has to become like an Isaiah Pacheco story to become relevant.
Yeah.
And it's a situation where, like you said, there's a lot that they like to make sure everyone's fed.
He's my 112, man. Like it's, I mean, in this class, like 112 is not.
And I was about to say, like this class, like we can't be picky. We're not picking. Should I go Colston Loveland or Jonah Coleman? No, it's Jonah Coleman or Antonio Williams. You know, like the choices fall off.
He's my 202. I took Denzel Boston at the 112. I've been lying to you guys.
Where's the Antonio Williams type at right now?
Antonio Williams is my 201. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Talking deals with 2 owners send out is similar in both. 12 teams, Superflex PPR start 10, 6-point pass touchdown. T-Law is QB3 behind May and Allen, CMC, Tet, Shuck, Monty, or James Cook, AJ Brown, Darnold, Hawk, in the 209 or a 27 second for sure. 12 by 10. And CMC for James Cook, Tet for AJ Brown, Shuck for Monty, Shuck for Darnold,
Hawk,
and then Monty Hawk in a second.
Hawk in the, yeah. So you said T-Law's QB3 behind May and Allen,
and you also
you're trading off of. I'm gonna be honest here. I think I'm just gonna ride with the CMC side because CMC is just such a game changer that I'm hesitant to move off of him. I feel like I'm not getting enough of a plus on the Cooks AJ Brown side for me to be. It's not like you're upgrading from Tet to, I don't know, like Neighbors or something where I'm like, okay, I'm getting a blue chipper here. Like I'm getting an older wide receiver. I'm getting a slightly younger running back that's probably not going to perform as well as CMC if he's healthy. Shuck has the rushing upside and is younger than Darnold, but not. I don't actually know if he's younger. I know Shuck is an older prospect, but
I think he is still.
So the age might not be a factor, but I don't know. I still just lean like give me the the handcuff running back and Monty. Give me the upside of Shuck, and then Tet CMC.
It's pretty close. I think I actually might. Man, I think the only thing is like this AJ Brown to the Pats thing. When that happens, like how far away is he from T-Mac in Dynasty rankings? I mean, a year or 2 from now, the gap is going to grow, obviously. But I mean, production bet for this year, him and AJ Brown versus CMC and Tet. I might lean the James Cook, AJ Brown side.
To me, I just feel like CMC is like, it's like buying a lottery ticket, opening like a pack of Pokemon cards. Like it's just like, it might be nothing, or it might be like, oh, I'm retiring. Like that's CMC is that upside in fantasy football of like, oh, look at me. I CMC got hurt and my team stinks. Oh man.
Yeah.
Or CMC caught 200 passes and had 2,000 scrimmage yards and won me the league. Like, and then you'd be like, I'm really good at fantasy football. It's like, no, you just had CMC like score like 3 positions and won.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fair.
There's no player that has that upside.
Like both packages, Moline right now is the cook side. Be happy if either owner agrees. Deal with it. One title last year, so full contend window now. Yeah, I think they're both.
I do think it's a fair trade.
And they're both too, like I assume the deal you're making right now, you talked about T-Law being QB3. All right, it took my brain a minute to process that. You are moving T-Law in that package for either of those. I think they're both good contending dynasty value. James Cook, AJB. All right, gentlemen, got the ID. New to your live, or you want to see it this on live? You mentioned Discord as well. Yeah, I can pull that from where you sent it right there. Right after this mock, that'll be 3 mocks, and we got 2 more guys. Get in here for Landry, and appreciate the additional super chat. 2 people away. We'll hit this one, and then we will pull up your team and the trades.
Landry's bankrolling us tonight.
Let's go. The special Sunday stream. It'll be the Landry. Shout out to Paul Millsap.
The Landry special, sponsored by Landry.
We got any Paul Millsap fans in the chat?
That's a good pull.
107 above.
I thought it was like a tweet that was like LeBron James, if he played till he's like 55, would just be Paul Millsap.
Oh man, the Lakers. I'm kind of happy the Lakers are looking like they're gonna win that series. I think they're
LeBron
more
is
fun
like
to watch.
it's like Brady. Like you remember I think it was the Eagles Super Bowl after the Falcons, where like the Falcons was the true crowning of Brady. Like, okay, it's over.
28.
Like you know who the greatest is. Yeah, like you're like, okay, like he's never dead until the clock is 0. And I just remember watching the Eagles one, and it was just like, yeah, the Eagles were kind of always up. They kind of had this. It was like safe. You're like, okay, I kind of feel like the Eagles got this. But it was just like, hey, man, there's like 15 seconds left, and Tom Brady's on the other side. We saw what he did last year. Like, that's how I feel with like LeBron. Like, I remember listening to like NBA pods, and they're like, oh, it's Rockets in 5. Lakers stink. They don't have Luka. I'm like, it's like a 45-year-old LeBron James. Like, I'm not counting out LeBron until he's gone. Like, you need like Curry and KD to take him out.
Yeah, and KD hasn't even been.
Yeah, KD. Well, KD going out right out of the gate has been.
All right, one more person. Well, actually, 2 more people get in here. But if it's just one more person, we could do a chat picks player. I feel like that's kind of a fun thing. I can figure out how to do a poll. That might be kind of rough. Maybe we'll just read the chat.
It might be rough with a minute.
Well, I could pause it. I got quick fingers.
Oh, that's true. We can pause it.
I was the 67th best Smash Brothers Melee player in Michigan. Okay, my fingers are pretty fast.
Ooh, 67th. Wow.
Yeah, well, that was the peak, and then it quickly fell down when I stopped going to tournaments.
I'm looking forward to the Smash stream special. That'll be just a bunch of GameCube controller clicking sounds.
I know that. Well, I used to stream myself playing Melee, and I remember like recording myself and moving the mic as high as I could away from my clickety clacking fingers. Oh man. Actually, I did some PC fixing, and I'm getting fiber internet. Shout out to Surf Fiber. So we're finally upgrading. No more
fiber internet's nice.
Appreciate it.
It's the upload speeds as you know it.
Guys,
I would say shouts human factor. We're
please, guys.
It's a sponsored stream tonight by chat.
We're getting the super chats coming in for us staring at a mock draft screen of 10 out of 12 people. All right, at what point is this a 10 team?
This is the most exciting spot.
10 team is not that bad.
Before you actually have to make your
somebody get in here so we don't have to do 10 team. I'll do it when 10:07 hits.
36 people in the chat.
Do it. Don't do it for yourself, okay? Do it for me. Come on, please. I had to whip out the please. I haven't had to do that since the auction stream. Shout out to Canyon. Shout out to Canyon, who's a big Michigan guy. And shout out to the Detroit Lions having a Michigan draft. Do you see how many Michigan players we drafted? That was they did not travel far to do their scouting, but I love the Lions draft.
I will say controversial. Added two new tiers. I'm kind of just workshopping them. The Last Dance tier, which is if you have the oldest starting lineup in the league and are a contender, and the All-In team, which is if you're in the bottom quarter of draft capital value and you're a contender. I haven't counted up all my Last Dance and All-Ins yet, but I'm still tweaking some of the logic. I was thinking because there's some things I want to tweak to make them a little bit more rare, but I want to add in a little bit of extra flavor with some of the tiers of like, okay, like I was like, I think a Last Dance team should probably have no players, like only at most 2 players under 25 in their starting lineup or something like that too. Make it a little bit like, oh, this really is like Unk squad. Because I have some people be like, dude, my running backs are Amari and Hampton. How am I Last Dance? And I'm like, well, it just picks like, are you the oldest lineup? So I'm still working them, but yeah, I don't think I have either Last Dance or All-In teams currently.
All right, are we clicking start and we're doing the chat at the 112?
We can do a chat at 112.
Let's go. All right, if you're in the chat, you are making the pick at the 112. I'm gonna pause it. I need you to survey the board. Let me know if you want me to search up player names or anything to see if they're still available.
I like that they got the 112 too. So then it's gonna truly be like, hey, it's gonna be pulling teeth to get someone to vote.
All right, I am love Tate Tyson. This is if I was mocking or if I was actually drafting at these spots. This is how I would draft.
Would you do Mendoza 104?
I probably would. Are you there?
I was hoping the Price. I'm like, I wish Price would just convince me to be like, I'm going 105. I just don't think I'm there yet with Price.
Yeah.
I do think this is kind of how I would draft it. Okay. Who's the poop emoji here? Come on.
Wait, do I have to do a?
Oh, Will.
You were pooping me. What were you pooping me for last time? I think it was just all my picks. Wait, is this how this works? Never done this before. I'm kind of nervous.
We're seeing sleeper menus as we speak. Got to dive into the sleeper settings.
All right, Ty Simpson 106.
Only true people remember the auction draft. Only ballers. Yeah, that's something, when you were going back in time, you need to study up on your draft knowledge. Just go back to the auction draft.
That one probably had the most laughing, like me laughing at myself. So if you want a good time, I do actually do like Klein. I think Klein didn't even go. I think in any other mocks. Like I think Texans totally fine landing spot. I mean Schultz extension, but I mean
that's true.
With some of these tight end bets. Like if I'm happy about Raritan or excited about the Raritan pick. Oh gosh. All right, we'll kind of choke this.
That's true. I mean, second round draft capital as well.
Shout out to Patty Mills. He had to wait 20 minutes for us to fill up this last spot, or second to last spot, I guess.
I'll say.
Oh, sorry. I overrode.
Oh, okay.
Where were you?
Which one are we at then?
BB. All right, I'll hit this one and then you can find yours.
Okay.
I hate Ty Simpson, but feel like he's the safest option to have good value in year one. Yeah, I mean, talk about holding value. Like he's not even gonna suck to have a fall from grace.
He can't suck.
All right.
Except maybe if did we do the pick or?
Yeah, I'm working on it. All right.
Okay,
Pause the draft.
Oh,
chat. We got one vote
rope
for Antonio Williams 112. Any other Stowers on the board?
State your claims.
Stowers on the board. Jonah Coleman.
Antonio Williams.
I know a lot of people are. Chris Bell this early.
Stribbling. We got a Stribbling. The
Stowers. Yeah, and a .75 tight end premium as well.
Dynasty Jake, welcome in. Special stream.
Dude.
Tuesday already. Yeah, you missed work.
JD, are you taking us boys? Jeez. JD, are you gonna take him at the 201? I thought you wanted your guy. We got a Chris Bell. Okay, I've seen 2 Stowers.
Diego Pavia. Okay, we're going off the rails. Someone's got to take the wheel here.
All right, it's looking like it's gonna be Stowers.
Yeah, we got 2 Stowers. We'll take it.
All right, chat.
I think this goes to show. I mean, half of them are memes, but you know, the indecisiveness in this range is like, I don't know. Like, who do you like?
Yeah. Do you think in most of your rookie drafts, when you are in this range that you're uncomfortable with, are you going to even be attempting to trade back when you start to get to like the start of the second, mid-second, just to have multiple shots on? Like, I know you liked some of the tight end bets, you know, taking one of those QBs paired with a wide receiver bet versus your favorite of a 3rd round wide receiver. Are you going to try to do that in your actual rookie drafts where you kind of have these early, mid, 2nd round picks? Or do you like enough guys like me? I love Antonio Williams. I'm going to stick and pick him at the, 201 through 203 range.
I mean, I would try to trade back, but I think the reality is I think most people, especially people here, are going to kind of, after us ripping all these mocks, are like, I don't like any of it. Like, I don't feel great about any of this. And if you try to trade back, they're going to be like, I don't want to give you extra for what's already kind of gross. Like, I think a lot of people are just going to get stuck making these picks in a lot of leagues that are especially tuned in to kind of the vibes of the community. Yeah. You know, like, I think there's some people that are going to still be like, oh, like, I think this draft is good. I have my players. But realistically, outside of probably the top 5, 6, I mean, I still feel like the Jadarian Price is locked in 106 for me. But like, outside of maybe the top 8, I'm totally like, just get me out of this.
All right. It's a double-sided question. In chat, I want you to answer too. What pick would you personally trade for a random 27 second? Like the earliest pick you would trade for a random 27 second. And what pick do you think would get in most cases for a 27 second? Does that make sense? You guys get what I'm saying? So like, obviously, for the most part, I know everybody, like a mid-second, everyone would trade for a 27 second, but that's not happening. So would you trade the 202 for a random 27 second?
I would trade any second.
We got the 202. Yeah. Second. Now, 108 plus.
201.
What 108 plus is interesting, just from the perspective of I think in like 0.75 plus 10 in premiums, like I think Stowers, you're getting a 1st round receiver, even though he's on the Jets. Like I get the 111, 112. Like I get not wanting to take Boston versus a future second, but I still think I would hold and keep my actual 1st round picks. Like I'd still make the 112 pick. And then I'm a little weirdo, so I would probably pick Antonio Williams at the 201 instead of trading for a future second, even though that's a terrible process.
We'll trade an early 27 for Antonio Williams.
Don't do as I do or as I say. In that case,
I think I'd be okay moving like the 1. I don't know. I think I do agree. 112, I'll probably just end up taking because I mean, look at this draft. Yeah. Stowers 112.
0.75 10 premium, a 2nd round tight end who had like great receiving production in college that goes to like a totally interesting enough landing spot in terms of like target competition. Like, yeah, year 1, whatever, Goddard. But like, would you be surprised at all if he's, I mean, he's not going to be in line. So, what if he's, doing big slot stuff?
I could see it. No, I agree. I think there's enough in the 1st round and there's enough random people in your leagues. Like I'm in a league that Jeremiah Love was available at the 1 to 2. If you told me that, I would have been aggressively trading up for that 102 to get Jeremiah Love. And you just never know in the 1st round, some talent that you think is a lock and you feel good about could be available. In the 2nd round in this draft, though, I'm just kick it to the future.
How much, Buke, is this a like Omar Cooper thing versus like Jets landing spot thing? Or even, I mean, like any of the other guys too. Like if it's I mean, like Denzel Boston being the second receiver drafted in the second round to the Browns, like I think that's a total reasonable versus perceptions of how the NFL draft was going to play out versus what we saw. Like I totally get that, but I don't know, man. Stowers and Cooper, like I'm holding. I'm making those picks compared to next year's class. Sure. Yeah, that's fair. Option C, Jets and Cooper. All right, wait. Did I miss any? All right.
Oh.
All right. What do we like here?
Chat time. Let's talk it up.
The computer was right last time. I think it picked Stowers, and that's what the majority ruled. The majority of 2 people.
No, they picked Coleman.
Oh, it did? Oh. I think it happened twice, actually, when I did it wrong, trying to fix it. All right, we got a Pavia. All right, Emit Johnson, you got the KayTron.
The Pavia is going to hit.
Jacoby Lane.
Skyler agreed Emit for me. Allen. I think next year's class will offer very similar options of uncertainty late second.
Bell,
so a random second lands early. I'll take that. Skyler Bell.
All right, the next.
Put your feet to the fire here. Carson Beck.
Claire Beck.
Clarn.
All right, which rookie quarterback do we see start first? Other than I mean, honestly, you could include Mendoza in it, but I'm thinking more of the like third round. I feel like
Beck has a decent chance of starting, especially depending how the Brissett situation plays out, and even then, like Brissett is kind of always been a journeyman quarterback, so I could see Brissett week 6 sucking it up, and it's just like, oh crap, like might as well see what we have with Beck.
All right, I'm gonna pretend that this is how this played out. I know somebody said Claire wouldn't be bad either. I saw 2 Claires. So computer double tapping tight end, 0.75 tight end premium.
That's how you know.
Chet knows ball.
I think Team 12 is actually just Will. Will loves the double tap.
I don't know, man. You've been Claire clicking the Rams tight end 5 all day. No, actually, I actually don't hate. I don't hate Claire. I think I was just.
That's it.
The issue for me is like, I don't know. I'm a big
Claire clicking.
I don't want to call myself a priors holder, but in terms of like receiving upside, I like Terrence Ferguson, but I'm not going to pretend that Terrence Ferguson dream is very alive when the Rams take another tight end. When
they bring back everyone. No, I do think.
Dude, they talked about they need 5 tight ends active on game day. That was like a legitimate quote. Like they're not all like going to play, but
yeah, it's just going to be like a revolving door for targets, unfortunately.
All right, JD5 Loverboy. Oh, I didn't hurt this. Ooh, the Nuss auto. 6 tight end sets. They're running that 50 personnel. All right, Carson back.
Honestly, sometimes I'm like, oh man, the auto picks. I don't blame you going auto picks in this range. 3rd round, 2026. I'm like, I don't even know what I want.
All right, the Will rankings that I feel like I need to adjust.
The humble genius rankings.
All right, I've got KayTron and Eli Raridan pretty close here. I'm gonna take KayTron.
The 5 line, 5 tight end, the heavy jumbo package,
and it's a Kyron Williams 1 yard stuffed carry when you have the Super Bowl MVP quarterback. Calling on my buddy to make this pick. All right, what are we doing? Did you see the Ravens? The GM.
Phone a friend.
The GM made the Adam Randall pick. That was
the GM did.
Yeah, it was like I didn't watch I just saw like a clip of the press conference. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I think it was like he was like begging like, oh, can I make a pick? And he was like, yeah, of course, you're the GM. Like you can make a pick. And he was like, he didn't just like willy-nilly make it. Like he consulted and whatever. But that's just
I just always remember
this class. GM made a pick.
This is like deep Panther lore. If Dynasty Jake is in the chat, he will probably be aware of this. But when Matt Rule was our coach and we picked Chuba Hubbard, his reasoning behind it was my wife really liked the name Chuba Hubbard. So I was like, I have to pick Chuba Hubbard. She told me I had to pick him. So that kind of became a meme. But it turns out his wife was the best scout on the team at the time. Yeah. It's the only player that's relevant now.
All right.
I guess J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn, Derek Brown turned out. But.
Yeah. Are you drafting Mendoza differently in 6-1 versus 4-1? Yeah, I think so. I think more so leaning into like the QB market, but I don't know. Are you where are you at Mendoza 4-2 and then 6-1? Does that change at all for like all things considered equal how you're handling the top 5 picks? I'm probably still love Tyson Mendoza.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm still in that range. It probably depends a lot on. Pause time. It probably depends a lot on the actual market at quarterback. Like, is it a 10 team? Is it a 12 team? Like, how hard is it for? Like, does the 6-1 really impact the QB market? Because if quarterback's really hard to get, then sure, maybe I'd say Mendoza 103, Mendoza 102. But realistically, I feel fine. Probably plugging and playing quarterback elsewhere unless it's like a 14-team league where quarterbacks are really scarce.
All right, I like Delp. Joly.
You got Delp or Joly.
Hurst. I don't hate Hurst.
John P. on the same page.
All right, my vote is Delp. Just pause at the turn. We get a nice little break. Are we going triple tight end though? We're ripping the piss and orange over there.
Chat told us only go tight end.
I'll give it another second. I'm going to answer. I'm going to make sure I'm not missing anything.
We got the I'm enjoying the pause at the turn. Get a nice breather of like, oh my gosh, the third round is rough.
This is 100% true. People do not want picks. 100%. All right, we're going to go Delp. That was my vote. We're going to go triple tight end. I get a vote. I'm just not going to type it in chat. All right.
Thanks. Sorry,
JD5, get off
the Hurst.
Wait, was that? I'm going to make you pick again if that wasn't your pick. Because I think that was like the... Wait, what's going on? All right, there we go. I don't hate the Hurst Tampa Bay landing spot. I mean, post Mike Evans era, Chris Godwin resigns there. Jalen McMillan was used, I think, a lot more than people were expecting last year. So I think, the guess is that that's the 3 wide receiver set stuff. And I mean, I think a little bit buried in terms of who Hurst has to beat out with what that room looked like last season, even before McMillan came back. But possible. Anything's possible. I mean, third, fourth round, the wide receiver bets you're taking. You see all these running backs go. I think this makes a lot more sense roster construction wise than taking a Ted Hurst bet. So, all right, my bad, JD5. If you had that set, we made you. Dallas. Did we get? Is that a Trig UDFA?
Yeah, UDFA to Dallas.
Nice. All right.
I'm very surprised he completely went undrafted, but we know Dallas tight ends can sometimes make some noise. Especially now that they're down their second wide receiver. We don't know how the Pickett thing will...
Yeah, that was interesting.
It's Forney season, baby.
All the reporting of, him signing it before the NFL draft, that kind of being the expectation, that's going to lead into, potential move. But...
Yeah, I agree, human factor. The trade going UDFA was very surprising.
It starts at this point. And we get the first pick there. All right, no running backs I really care about picking. Actually, funny enough, I think I think my boy Marlon is the highest on my current rankings, which are subject to change in 10 minutes after we're done mock drafting.
After this, you're gonna.
Man,
I have to stay up for another hour.
Sam Roush going to Roush going to the Bears too. There was just, there were some brutal spots.
I like him too. I'm like, I was hoping he would get like a spot where it wasn't behind. I mean, Komet's still there, and obviously Loveland, who
I think
really
that's
started breaking out towards the end of the year.
Life after this crazy Komet contract that the Bears had.
Yeah, I mean, it's like who's the I can't think his first name, but Knox on the Bills is like the
Knox.
third highest player on that team.
Yeah,
I'm like, who handed out that deal? That's crazy.
Right. Brendan Thompson. Now, like, obviously very crowded. I mean, we'll see what kind of ends up happening with, QJ contract stuff. But, man, you talk about something that Mike McDaniel loves. It is speed.
He does.
That boy fast. So we'll see. That's kind of how I feel about Keaton Missile.
Missile?
Yeah, it's a little Keaton Mitchell pun there. I mean, it wouldn't be a Dynasty Daddy.
It went over my head. I was like, what? Did I hear that right?
Joly.
I do like the Keaton Mitchell spot. The amount of Keaton Mitchell bags I've been holding to then have him go to basically the best spot he could ever go makes me very optimistic.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, draft capital wise, when like the current room is, Evan Ingram, Adam Troutman, Nate Atkins.
Yeah, I mean, and too, like a lot of like the Rush and the Trig and a lot of these guys that we were hoping would land, and Claire even, like I was about to say Clarn again. A lot of them landed in less than optimal spots. So to me, I'm like, why are we docking Joly so hard when, like, Michael Trigg and these other guys that are buried, where they're like, hey, we need 8 tight ends to be able to run a functioning NFL offense. I'm like, let me just get one that I know has a receiving profile and is in a spot that I feel at least confident can hopefully be a flex play, especially in a tight end premium league. That's kind of what I'm shooting for. It's like bye week, desperation starts. Is this a guy that I maybe can get 4 or 5 catches? And if he gets 6 targets, 3 catches, tight end premium, that's like a 8 catch game from a random flex guy. So
yeah,
like the barrier to entry at tight end premium leagues for flex plays is so low. So as long as I can try to hit on one of those, I'm going to in this range.
All right, am I removing this pick? So actually, I don't even know if I can. All right, Jay Miller, guys. All right, this is interesting. And I ran into the same situation with the Bravo Daddy, where I 1 year punted out of the startup and had a ton of firsts, which was great in this class. Ended up using a lot of trades, kind of foreseeing having to make 9 rookie picks and filling out a roster where do I want to hold on to these 4th round picks versus players that I've had throughout the season. John P., I'm loaded with picks this year. I'm thinking I might have to just cut some of my 3rds and 4ths after I draft them. We got a 5 round. I mean, luckily you have enough taxi spots to I think we have 5 taxi spots in that 5 round league, or draft, but yeah, man. Brutal. All right. Do we want to hit some of the live stream asks and pull up Paul Millsap's question?
Yes, we can definitely hit the. Should we hit the super chat one first?
Yes.
From Landry. Yeah, Millsaps.
I'm gonna pull up I got the trade here. I'm gonna quick pull up. Do you want to hit some questions while I'm getting that ready?
Yeah, I can.
Thanks, J-Dog.
If Howie hits on another international player in the 7th round at the premium position, freak edge athlete from Nigeria, looks like Myles Garrett. I mean, again, this is perfect range to take these types of guys. I remember with the Panthers, I think it was Matt Rule's first year, we drafted a long snapper in the 6th round over guys that went on to be outliers that didn't have the production profiles. And I was like, wait a minute, like we could have had an all-pro guard obviously it's like, oh, well, like if we just picked all the good players behind us, it would have been better. But still, it's like in those later rounds, just take those dart throws on like premium positions, because if they hit, awesome. If they don't, oh well. Like you got to churn through a million of them to begin with. So I'm all. I mean, to be honest, like if there's anyone to do it, it'd be Howie. So I am jealous of his GMing skills, even though I do think the Panthers have turned a leaf in terms of their GMing. I've seen that one diagram going around on Panthers subreddit. It's like we've added the most value, like whatever that means. Best expected draft capital to draft capital, whatever, delta. I don't know.
Yeah, you made the playoffs last year.
As long as it means we win.
It means something.
As long as we win. Hang the banner. Hang the banner. We got some chart. We're number one on the chart.
You added.
It's been a long time since we had a banner. And usually it's, well, actually it isn't. NFC South champion. I guess they hang banners for that. Fluent English. Hey, that's kind of all you need to do. If you're built like Myles Garrett and you speak English, you're welcome on the team. Let's do it again. Another mock draft, potentially.
I've got the team ready here.
Okay.
It's a 10 by 11. Let me I'll get this pulled up.
10 by 11, so it is a little bit deeper, but quarterback should still be relatively undervalued. You're going to want to lean into those premium positions.
And I got the trade too.
Of running back and wide receiver.
Got you. You hear? Let us know if you've got any additional kind of like league context too, Landry, if you're still here. And yeah, we can definitely rip another mock draft. I kind of want to, guys. Somebody gives me $15. I'm gonna pull up the team on Dynasty Daddy. Okay. So
it is a Millsap stream right now.
Yeah.
We
Let us know if you want us to like play Madden or whatever. No. All right. So we don't have to go through the team. Obviously, we've got it pulled up here. But the trade, as a reminder, has the 101 and the 102. The trade would be trading away the 101 for the 103, Cam Ward, and a 27 first, which likely 4 through 5. So actually, let's take a look at this team too, since we can kind of get that additional context. Oh.
Yeah, I know Millsap's added we start 2 QBs if you didn't see that. Yeah, it is a super flex league, but 10-team super flex league. You're still looking at a lot of available quarterbacks, and I think a perfect example is if you look at the waiver wire, Malik Willis. I was going to say JJ McCarthy, but Malik Willis and Geno Smith are available.
Yeah.
Are they gross? Yes, but those are starting quarterbacks in the NFL. If it was a 12-team league, those guys would not be available. So to me, the Cam Ward piece of the deal is even less valuable because I certainly do not want to really put a ton of value in the quarterback. That would be my QB3, QB4, when I already have 4 starting quarterbacks in theory.
Yeah. And real quick too, before we even get into like kind of breaking down this trade a little bit more, if I am
okay, cut that. Okay, stop the stream.
Okay.
We've all been there.
If I'm looking at all to move, if I'm looking to move the 101, I mean any elite asset, I know
that was good.
People get annoyed by like this player is available, this player's on the block. Rookie mock draft time, the 101, if you're like willing and talking through a trade with somebody, I need all 9 other managers, or I guess 8 other managers to know the 101 is for sale. I am looking to, move back in this draft. Plus, obviously, just because you never know. Like the 101 is Jeremiah Love. I mean, this is like Ashton Jeanty, under Bijan Gibbs level asset. And if Bijan or Gibbs are on the block, you're getting 3-4 offers from teams. So, all right. In terms of the first,
the team you are trading with is pretty bad, right? Like it is a team that has to 103 this year. Cam Ward, CJ Stroud, Jared Goff, Chase Brown, Bucky, Kyron, Pickens, Marv.
Super strong running back room. But I agree. At the wide receiver, like yes, Pickens, but immediately after that, I mean Mike Evans for the rest of this year for the 27 pick, Jacoby Myers, DJ Moore, listed as a fraud.
I kind of think it's like this.
Trying to look at these other good
extra information makes me feel like
that team's sick.
Nothing really changes in my analysis of like it's a fair trade. I'm probably just going to want to lock in the 101 over potentially trade, like, because if you trade away Jeremiah Love and he crushes it, then you're going to regret that, because Jeremiah Love best outcome is worth an early 27 first.
Dude, I mean, this team, like, I do kind of like looking at this. I mean, 10 team, I always want to push myself to make the playoffs, but man, like this team, how many teams make the playoffs in this? Is it still 6? Or is it only 4? Or do you do like,
is it like 4? Yeah.
6 and 2 buys, or 4 and it's 1 through 4 seed? Because that changes it for me for sure. Zach Arthur won the league. Please roast his team. 6 teams. Okay. Lamar Herbert, Agent Swift, Kenny Gainwell, RB3. Let's go. Chase T. Pierce Wanda. Okay. I'm a little sketched here. It's got Lamar with the crown. Come on, man. So are you, I know you were kind of sticking towards Lena Love. You got 327 firsts.
I mean, I do think you lock in a potential early pick there, but you're also giving this guy a loaded running back room and a not bad wide receiver room, and the most important positions here are running back and wide receiver. Like, he can make it with CJ Stroud, Jared Goff, Justin Fields, Malik Willis. He picks up off of waivers. Mm-hmm. Like, the quarterback value isn't huge to where I'm like, oh man, I'm locking in the Jeremiah Smith bet. Especially if he trades away his 27 first. What's to say he doesn't dip into 28 or 29 or trade away more, or like there's small moves you can make to kind of not make sure it's not like a bottom 3 pick.
All right, Herd. May I follow with just in terms of how the team is set up currently? So if we're leaning towards wanting to lean into the rebuild more, just based off of having 227 first, getting an additional where you have Pruitts and you have SWDs, getting a third potential first in a 10-team league where the worst case scenario, the pick is the 110 in like a fairly loaded class. Yeah. And on top of that, you're still getting, you get Tate Tyson. Yeah, you get Tate Tyson, two wide receivers that I am very excited about. Obviously, like I'm adding a decent amount to move up to get Jeremiah Love, but I don't know if it's a 27, mid first. It's just like this wide receiver room needs addressing.
Yeah, I mean it does,
and I don't think you can I don't know if this team can compete. Like when I was talking about how far away are you from contending when you add Jeremiah Love to a team with Jeanty Trade, Parker Washington. I thought it was T. Higgins at the time. Like, I don't know. I actually I'm kind of liking it. Is there any other plus you can get on top of it that you would go for off of the Cam Ward team?
I'd probably see if I can not give value for the Cam Ward side and can I get something else? Because if I do make that type of deal, I'm gonna be like, okay, is there? I want to make sure I kind of hurt this team in the long run as well. And I know the positions that matter: running back, wide receiver in this type of format. Mm-hmm. Lead me to be like, can I get instead of you giving me the Cam Ward value, can I get a Bucky or a Kyron or something along those lines of yes, I am giving you Jeremiah Love, but I'm taking some of this extra production and I can ship that production elsewhere if I'm trying to tank as well.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. I want to make sure that it's harder for you to get that production than say, hey, give me your, QB2, QB3, and that's not going to hurt you when there's 2 starting quarterbacks on waivers.
George Pickens and restructuring the deal, I think is interesting, and I would like it for your team versus Cam Ward, just based off of purely looking at the market, like we talked about, where QBs are acquirable off of the waivers, like starting QBs. I'm changing my perspective because I'm thinking about the seconds and thirds I've had to move in my leagues to get Geno Smith like starting for a stretch, or a third for Joe Flacco for the rest of the season for the Bengals, versus let me just click plus on waivers and drop Gabe Davis so I can pick up a starting quarterback. Dude, how is Gabe Davis rostered and not Malik Willis? And this, waivers might be closed, and maybe this was before, so like those might be
the signing or
quick
something
acquisitions
like
for sure.
that.
I would definitely. I'd spend money to make that happen. But yeah, how do you feel? Okay, so the Pickens restructure versus Cam Ward, would you add onto your side to get that done? So it would be, I guess we can go here, right? Wait, why am I? There we go. All right, so this is Pickens, the 103. You're moving the 101. Instead of, and you get a 27 first. What would you add onto your side? Would you add, they would definitely lean towards production. Would you add Parker Washington or something along those lines?
Yeah, for sure. I feel completely fine throwing in a Parker Washington. Because, if I'm doing this type of deal, I'm probably like
103
I
comp.
still don't want a ton of points. I think like even like moving like an RJ Harvey or something. Like RJ Harvey, Parker Washington. I think those are potential options. But also, like, I don't know. I'm still pretty high on Jeremiah Love, especially this is one of those teams where you feel decent about it. Right? You're like, okay, 2 young running backs with Jeanty, Love, still kind of aim for a rebuild. And in that year, Cam Coleman, Jeremiah Smith, I'm loading up on elite young talent. I can also go out and buy some productive vets. And then all of a sudden, the 2 positions that matter in this league, running back, wide receiver, are addressed. I don't care about quarterback, tight end. I can figure that out. Whereas this, I'm like, hey, I got the one safe pick, to be frank, is like Jeremiah Love is that one true insulated dynasty piece in this draft class. And you got to pry it off my cold dead hands.
Yeah. Like,
especially in a shallower league.
Like, I love Pickens. And like I've considered these types of moves for Pickens with my 101 teams that are specifically contending. But that's a Pickens lover too. Like I'm totally understand the risk of people that aren't as into Pickens as I am. But I wouldn't even really want to do this. Like, would you do Pickens and that team's first for Jeremiah Love? I think I like the structure of the 103 plus a first and working on getting a plus on top of that versus this structure.
Yeah, I like that structure. It's close. To me, the Cam Ward value is a 0.
Yeah.
So I would say, can I get some value from that? If that's a Kyron Williams or something, like I want to make it harder for that team to be good. And I am giving you a huge piece in Jeremiah Love, that a huge piece that will be good for a long time. But I want to try to find a way to make it last.
I do feel like doing that, if you do, like, I think you would need to add a little bit to like get up to the Kyron or Bucky side, because I feel like that team would just kind of say like, okay, well, then I'm just not going to pay for Love, and like I'll just keep this running back as my producer, and move the 103 for another wide receiver or something. Like I wouldn't even mind like tacking on future seconds or whatever. I mean, I think seconds can turn into wide receiver production, like I love that kind of move for your team specifically to like position yourself for the tank. Because is there another tanker? I didn't pull that up and check. There's another rebuilder, but they have like Henderson, Scat, Garrett Wilson, Christian Watson.
Garrett Wilson. They're not like a full rebuild.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have a ton of value and their team stinks, but it might not be their choice that they're rebuilding.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like, and two like little things I would do with this team, like, the Vikings running backs kind of dodged the draft. Like, I don't know if this team would care about doing this. Can I send Jordan Mason to a team that wants a running back bat? I mean, this team might not want. I mean, they've got Gibbs, Kenneth Walker, Rico, and Jalen Warren. But I mean, they have both Steelers running backs. Like, do they want both Vikings running backs? And like, I can get whatever pick swap for Jones, because like the production you get from Jones is like so minimal for your team versus securing the 101 with your own first next year.
Yeah.
Anything else you would do with this team? And actually, did you? I know you kind of swayed. Are you you're down to do the trade and move away Love if you can find a way to get pluses?
I would want to convert the Cam Ward plus into something more substantial. Some sort of positional player at running back, wide receiver, or another pick or something. Just because Cam Ward's not going to mean a ton here. And I mean, I think too, like shedding as many points as I can. Like I think Parker Washington's a decent sell. I think you got some decent sells here to try to shed points if you're trying to lose. Also trying to, I think so, like Malik Willis, Geno Smith. These guys should be rostered.
Yeah.
So you can even in a 10 team try to extract some additional value from, hey, like who are you going to start when your quarterback gets injured or when you're looking for a quarterback?
Yeah.
Because I mean, like Ginger brings, I don't think he checks because his quarterbacks are Josh Allen and Russell Wilson. That's it. It's the only thing rostered.
No.
If you pick up those quarterbacks and you're like, hey man, Malik Willis, give me a second.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Like he's going to have to do something.
Yeah, I like it more for sure than that Pickens 27 first deal too. Last request? No, you're good. Will you compare commish, trade addicts, teams, because they're the other super active guys in my leagues, and wanted me to ask before we finish, yeah. Compare. Trade addicts. Are you looking for... I see wanted me to ask before we finish, just like general thoughts on the team, or are you looking like moves with this team specifically? Ginger traded
Malik in May for Josh Allen and Scary Terry, which is crazy.
Okay. All right, what are your thoughts on the I'll hide this real quick.
On the commissions team?
So I've got trade addicts here right now. Purdy, Daniel Jones, Tua Jacoby, Mac Jones, Hampton, Judkins, Brees. The wide receiver room is crazy. Monra,
it's
Drake
nice.
London,
it's
Nico,
nice.
Rice, Monte Adams. Has a 107 in this class. Gadsden.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is you don't have your 27. I mean, not that it's a huge issue because this team should be pretty good. But I like in general, not a heavy investment in quarterback in this league. Outside of like guys like Josh Allen.
Well, I mean, the way I'm looking at some of these rosters, there's going to be some bids on. I mean, Malik Willis obviously, but like even Geno Smith too. Like Purdy, Daniel Jones. Like this team could not have a. I mean, we'll see Daniel Jones, but there's a couple teams that might not have a week one starter at Superflex.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that's why I'm like, you need to get on top of that. But still, this is something where it's in a 10-team league. I don't want to invest too high on expensive quarterbacks because usually they're not going to live up to the hype. And like even this, like Daniel Jones, Tua, this is a team where you're like, I do need a Malik Willis, I do need a Geno Smith, or otherwise I kind of probably need to pay to feel better about that.
Yeah. Dang. 2 times fab.
I mean, running backs good. You need more running backs. Yeah, I think the running backs are good, but a little shallow. But other than that, I mean, this team is it's hard to complain about this team right now in April.
All right, I'm doing a quick trade reviews. Ooh, 104 for the 109 in Javonte. I love that as a rebuilding team. Like even after the Javonte contract, that's probably like a pretty good trade for both sides.
I agree.
104 second.
Because you also jump up into an interesting range with the 104. 102, 104, 2 seconds.
This is actually an insane look ahead trade. For real. The way we're talking about the 201 right now and a 27 second 104. I feel like March 11th, we would have told you, do not do this. But the way the quarterback market works in this league, like Mendoza, this definitely has like lower value. And I think like getting to choose, like Tate
not getting stuck with Lemon or Mendoza.
I was with you, but
you're like, okay, let me just get Tate.
Honestly, I was with you too. The getting the choice of the best landing spot, but I was projecting Jets to take one of those guys, and the 104 to be even grosser than it is. But I think in your market, that trade's really good too. Nice, and the 207.
Moving 2-7 for Parker Washington, in my opinion, is a great deal. Look, we did a bunch of mocks, and we might do another. What you're looking at the 207 versus Parker Washington, which has been scoring and one of the better offenses in the league. The Jags had probably one of the worst drafts in the league, so not a ton of competition. There's a lot of things to feel good about that with.
Mm-hmm. All right, was the other team was it Commish, or was that the Commish team?
I think the Commish is the Trade Addicts.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because I didn't see a team that was Commish.
Oh, good moves. Yeah, and definitely. Add 104 Parker Washington. Wait, I'm kind of confused now. Oh, it was the 207 plus $100 fab.
In the trade.
Okay, yeah. I gotcha. All right, I'm with it. I get a little dizzy once we get an hour and 50 minutes in. McPants the other. Dang, okay. May, Caleb Williams, Prescott, CMC, Ichin.
This is definitely Jacobs, a pay to brag here.
Neighbors, CD, Lad. Luther. Oh, dude. Oh, you see that star underneath Luther Burden? Got Zay Flowers as the first player missing out on the flex spot. Tight end is the weakest, but no tight end premium in this league, right? This is just
I don't think
I didn't see one when I checked. 108. Nope. Okay, this team's kind of nasty. And you know what's great about looking at that is seeing that these firsts that you have, I don't see McPants under either of these vias, which is nice to see.
That's true. McPants is pretty much he's someone that doesn't really need to show up until December.
So you have Pruitt's. I'll do a quick Pruitt's check. Ertz, Love, Cook, Saquon. Okay, I like the running back room fall off. J-Mo, Reed. Okay, it's got Trey McBride, but no tight end premium. All right. I like your potential for your first. Especially if you end up finding something you like with that Love trade, with turning Cam Ward into something.
Yeah, it's middle of the pack, and middle of the pack in a 10-team league is 104 to 106 in one of the most hyped classes ever. So you feel pretty good about that.
All right, Tyler Warren. All right, no tight end premium. Tyler Warren for Zay Flowers plus.
What's the plus? That? But I'd probably do that. Yeah,
I like it. No tight end premium too. I like Tyler Warren, and I'm excited. Obviously, Pittman gone. They didn't add any receivers of notes. Well, I think Deion Burks was the only receiver they ended up drafting in the 7th round. I do like Tyler Warren, but man, the way your wide receiver room is built, what Zay Flowers' is age too. Zay Flowers plus, you say? Can we get a pick?
I feel like any second, give me a 27-second, something like that. I feel fine with.
I would love that. I would do a 3rd-second swap.
Who is better, McPants or Trade Addicts? I'm sorry, you gotta go McPants. We got Daniel Jones in the starting lineup right now.
The wide receiver room is crazy for that other team, but this wide receiver room is also pretty sick, and the running back room is CMC, ETN, Jacobs, Derrick Henry. J.K. Dobbins getting hurt doesn't even really matter to this team. Dude, I would do that.
Try to get his 27. I would try to get his 27 first, but yeah.
Yeah, I would.
27, even 28. Give me the future flexibility over me being on the clock with the 208.
Yeah, for sure. Dang. Yeah, what are these tight ends that are available too? Likely's on waivers.
Likely, dude. Hawk.
Yeah. Gunner. I'm seeing a bunch of. Let me put some claims in. Is 100% fab worth more than a random draft pick in a 12-team, 25-man roster? Got to be worth way more than the 412, assuming you're trading for fab early in the season. 12-team, 25-man. I'm trying to get fab for. The thing with the 412 and 4th rounders is I think it's a similar bet to waiver acquisitions. How much fab would you trade a 412 for?
In this year's class?
Yeah.
I mean, not much. I mean, if it's like 5-10%, I'd probably just take it. Because at that range, there's probably 10 players. I'm like, okay, I could all listen to that story, you know? So, I mean, to me, it's like, I'd rather have the fab. It's something that I can use later in the year to buy the next Kimani Vidal on waivers when I need it. Versus, I have to make a pick of some random player that probably just sits on my taxi squad and have to cut him next year.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather, honestly, the fab is probably worth way more than being on the clock with those later fourths.
Yeah, in a better class, I mean, it's a little like, obviously, bench starters dependent and just league starter in general dependent for me. Like, there's some leagues where how deep the bench is, like, fab does not matter at all.
I think a mid to late. I guess true. It's part of like, does fab matter at all? But I do think a mid to late fourth, when you have to take it, is basically worthless. Because what's the first thing that happens to all the degens the second the draft closes? Is there's a bunch of waiver claims of all the other 4th and 5th round players that weren't drafted that people just load up their taxi squad with. Mm-hmm. And those are just the picks that you're when you're on the clock with that late 4th, those are the picks that you're making. It's just the guys that aren't going to be in the first, wave of waiver claims on all these guys. So if you do want to not have to make these waiver claims on them, then sure, they're valuable. But I think when you're on the clock in most draft classes, I don't think there's been any draft class outside of maybe the one with Pacheco, where I was like, ooh, I love the Pacheco in the 4th. Like, I just kept pounding that one over and over. But usually there's not like a 4th round guy that you're like, oh, I have to have him. Like, all of them are kind of just like, oh, I'll take a random quarterback bet. But
in this class,
if you give me decent fab, I'll take it.
I'll pull up these mocks. Let us know. I do have to go potty soon, but let us know in the chat if you guys want to rip one more mock. If I see 2, let's do it in the chat. I'll get it set up and we'll rip it. But keep asking the questions. What's up, Xavier? How do I get y'all to look at my league like this? We definitely did get hit with a couple of we do have super chats, so we wanted to give the attention it deserved financially.
You got a couple. Let's do it.
Let's go.
People are itching.
I'll get it going. But we do have some live stream. We have a live stream ask channel where you can post your league ID and we'll talk through, like, if you have like a trade that you're talking through. We typically will spend some time pulling it. We can't always get to all of them. If there's like 4 or 5, I think for the most part we end up hitting them all. Sometimes it just waits until the end, like especially for these ones where we're kind of ripping some mock drafts. But Jeremy, I don't know if you want to talk about
timing based.
Yeah, and like, yeah, how much time we can devote to it. Like, wanted to give shout out to Landry.
And Landry too, was very gracious with the super chat. So I think we wanted to make sure we treated him to the quality that he
got the
wanted.
The daddy package.
You got the red card.
Paid for the daddy.
Yeah. The daddy.
Do you want to talk about, because I do not do them. I know you do roster reviews. I don't know if you want to talk about that people can access on the site.
Yeah, so we do the live stream asset that Will was mentioning, where you post a league, we'll go through it 5-10 minutes, just kind of break down, answer a specific question. I do a live stream or a roster review that is $50, but it's like a 20-ish minute video where I break down your format, your like the wins over replacement, how to roster construct based on that format, and kind of go into every question, everything. Sometimes people send me paragraphs. Sometimes people send me, hey man, I don't know what to do. Just give me some sort of direction. So those are the options that we have. So whatever you want, want a quick glance, a specific question, we can hit on it. If you want something more in depth, we have, different things you can do there as well.
And just posted the 4th mock draft. I think it was the 4th. So get in here. and we will rip it. Oh, yeah. Also, I sent it to you, Jeremy. I forgot to make sure you got it in there.
Okay, yeah. I was about to click it on the thing, and I realized I would share the message. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Well, we'll flash it up there. Get in there, guys. Don't type that in. Click the link in the chat. Yeah, I have more. I have a 101, and then I traded out of a 103. I honestly only have early and late picks. So I kind of want to feel how gross it feels at these 110s. 110, 111, 112s.
I'll be honest. Last year wasn't the best year for your boys' Dynasty teams. So got a lot of the decent range where I'm like, okay, I'm at least walking away with Makai Lemon or something. Like,
yeah. I'm
not like, oh my God.
You know who's making out like a bandit? The F them picks guys that traded those 112s. Won the championship and are like looking at everybody like feeling bad about the classes. They move their late seconds too. They're like, dude, everyone's talking about late seconds feeling like late thirds in other classes.
I know. I wish I was a little bit more aggressive just flipping those seconds, but you still probably have time in certain leagues that aren't as in tune with the vibes and all that.
I think too. I mean, we're talking about, somebody said they're moving 108s for future seconds. Like you 100% in a lot of, 100% in home leagues, but in a lot of leagues, you could move the 108 for a second plus a vet, I'm sure, from certain teams. Mm-hmm. So like if you're that in, like 108 and on, for me, I'm still picking through the end of the first. But yeah, I'm definitely moving. Hey, appreciate the hey, where this is our first international super chat. We're getting the pounds. That's a pounder. That's a
pounds.
$1.99 pound, right?
From across the pond.
Gracias. I mean, what's thank you in French? Oui, oui.
Merci.
Merci. Bonjour. The rise of Willis. Let's go. I'm with it. People are hating on Malik Willis with Dolphins not drafting wide receivers till the third round, but I'm with it. Honest opinion, I have the 107.
He's not going to be throwing the ball, right?
He's rising into the end zone on his feet. Honest opinion, I have the 107, but my team is absolutely stacked. I really want Chris Bell to sit in my taxi. Would I be mad to go with him at the 107 as he won't be there at the 212? I mean, if you're thinking about picking at the 107, I'm 100% trading back and upgrading or trying to get a future second. Are you like a very vocal Dolphins fan in the terms? I mean, your name is the Rise of Willis. Your profile picture is, oh my! I keep stopping myself. I'm gonna say what I almost said. I almost said you're never. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I was gonna call. Okay, I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say.
The dark thoughts of Will.
No.
I almost said that. Now here's what I almost said.
I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say, but you'll be able to guess. I was trying to refer to the photo, sometimes referred to as a shot of the back of Malik Willis, is what I was going to. Okay, great.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna. We've got. They all know my plan. No one's biting. Dang. I mean, I like Chris Bell, and the landing spot is great. It does feel like it could be a little bit of an injury redshirt year. The Dolphins feel like they're taking a redshirt year. I mean, the 107, man. I mean, that's a first round receiver you're passing on. That's potentially. I've seen Jadarian Price at the 107.
KC.
Talked about the team being stacked. How much? What? Go buy Malik Washington.
This is the answer. Just trade for him after the draft, right? Like, or just pick him up on waivers next year.
England, let's go. All right, get in here, guys. That's your homework right now, to get in this mock draft, so we can give the people one more. Chris Bell or Singleton? I'm probably taking Chris Bell
before Will's bladder explodes.
So are you Rise of Willis? What about? I mean, you have any third round picks or late seconds like that 212? Do you like Chris Bell a lot more than Caleb Douglas? I know a lot of people are kind of throwing Douglas out. with I mean, I would rather have Chris Bell, personally. Puka, Neighbors, Rice, T. Higgins, Olave, DJ Moore, and Jennings plus H. Dude. All right, you just need to, you know what you need to do? You need to buy the next Madden game and just play as the Dolphins. Or
yeah,
or,
he's like, I play fantasy football just so I can live through.
This will be a UDFA. Yeah. All right, here's what you do need to do. This is probably the home league, so I kind of get like, you know, you want to get your guys in the league. We are going to be doing Dynasty, Daddy, startups. Get in another league and reach for Chris Bell in the startup. How about
102, that? Chris Bell.
Best somewhat recent draft trade I've made was the 102 and 202 for the 101 and the 206. Oh my goodness.
You did that 4 months ago?
I don't even need the 206 back.
I thought the Cardinals landing spot, you would at least need someone to be like, dude, I don't want to deal with the Cardinals. Like, come on. 4 months ago?
That's nuts.
That could have been KC, Jeremiah Love.
That's crazy.
That's a good one.
I think my is let me know the rise of Willis. I think internationally, like whenever I see the like games in England or honestly like the Germany games as well, it's all kind of like random jerseys. I feel like teams kind of or people kind of pick the teams they like. Take the 101.
Yeah, don't they have like different cities that are like supposed to be ambassadors? Like I know the Panthers are like Germany or something.
Do you think Germany is a city? I'm just kidding. No, I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
We're 2 hours in. We're 2 hours in. I'm not always the best at putting words in front of each other.
What I do love is when you see like.
Let's go back to the rise
Tom Brady
of
Pat's jersey
image. Can you
describe? I love that. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Can you describe what the rise of Willis's profile picture is?
Just a Malik Willis back shot. Nothing wrong with that. Don't Google that, guys. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I would rather overpay for the pick off of like with one of the players off of my team versus using the 107 pick. If that's really what it has to be.
We are getting close. Two away.
Lost out on Bucky Irving UDFA bid by $2 on a 0 running back build. We now have 4th round rookie picks. Dang. Yeah.
Dude, the
5th round, I get it.
Lose out on Bucky Irving. Not only did you lose out on a waiver claim, but you're like, oh my, like Dynasty RB6 entering last year.
Let's go.
That's a rough one.
Most fans end up who we watched on TV years ago. I go on holiday to Miami each year. So that's cool. Nice. Let's go. I'm a Lions fan. And Jeremy is a Panthers fan. And you've always lived there, right? Born and raised?
Yeah, I mean pretty much. I lived up in Raleigh, which is still in North Carolina. So that's where I went to college.
I used to send
I was there for 4 years.
Pizza Hut ads to Raleigh. I never knew that's how you pronounce it.
Pizza Hut?
Yeah, I used to do some okay. Yeah, Raleigh. Speaking of Bucky, one of my best trades is moving Jacoby Myers to get Bucky. Ooh. I'm trying to think of the timing of that. That's an easy one. That's Raiders, Jacoby, probably for like preseason hype Bucky. Or for the pick.
Probably. Yeah, it's probably, yeah. I do think will cost us some ad money.
Have I said worse? Have I said we don't need to go through it because it'll actually turn into a 18
I don't know.
channel?
You did mention I don't know.
we might actually get taken down if we start going through all the worst things I've said on the stream. It's usually
we
once
have to do an audit of all the best ball streams. The best ball streams, like
those are 18 plus. Do not watch those. No, I'm those are usually too bad. They're just like it's just a stream of my consciousness. It's really what it is. All right, one spot.
We are one away. Drew C.
Early breakout Bucky. Dang. I mean, I could see myself moving. Like, there's receivers that I fall in love with that I just believe the talent will, like, the situation will figure itself out. And I could see Jacoby Myers being that guy. I'm sure he was for you at some point, Jeremy. I don't know if you were sending like early breakout Buckies for it, but I'm sure you've got some Jacoby Myers buys that you would take back.
Yeah, the issue is a lot of leagues I play in are NC State grads, so like Jacoby Myers always had like any NC State guy or Panthers player is always you always have to pay the home team premium, and so I'm just like I'm not paying that. So a lot of the NC State guys are like I had Mitchell Evans last year, and someone sent me like a 4th round pick for Mitchell Evans, and I'm like, dude, this guy's like tight end 3 on the Panthers. Like, yeah, I'll give you Mitchell Evans if you want him.
Oh, shoot. Lived in Boone.
It's the home team bias.
Boone for 10 years.
Boone is beautiful.
Just moved to Southwest Florida. Hey, we're getting small. I mean, I guess it's not a small world, Florida, but no, Boone for 10 years. Let's go. Any Michiganders in the chats? Go Lions.
This is where I need a soundboard and just crickets.
But I think there's more Packers fans that watch the stream than Lions fans, unfortunately. 108 needs to take.
I wonder if it gets pushed out. We've like, I know one person, another chat.
We could do the other chat pick if we want. Or how about I just make the?
We got 47 people in here.
There we go. Shout out.
There we go.
Thank you. I love the profile picture too. Traded Trey Tucker for Chris Rodriguez last week. Somehow both survived the draft. Yeah, that is kind of interesting. I mean,
that's crazy. Yeah, you get
the Jalen Naylor. There, yeah. Did the Raiders even add any receivers in the draft? Malik Benson in the 6th. Is that it?
Does that count? 6th round draw receiver?
I mean, Jalen Naylor is probably the biggest acquisition.
Yeah, that's the one they added in.
Skull. I go to Minnesota once a year. The company I work for is based in Minneapolis, so I hit up the Twin Cities once a year. I almost wore my JJ. There's Bell at the 106. I almost wore my JJ McCarthy Michigan jersey to Minnesota 2 years ago, and I decided not to. And it's a good thing I didn't, because it was the day after when I arrived and landed was the day that everyone found out that he was going to miss the entire season. So that would have been pretty rough, showing up to the office in a JJ McCarthy Michigan jersey as their 1st round pick. It might be funny this year. Should I wear it this year? They had Kyler Murray.
You should, honestly.
Go.
I'm excited for that. The Kyler experience.
That'll be a fun preseason to watch. Everyone overanalyzing Kyler versus JJ versus Carson Wentz. Get some Carson Wentz preseason action.
Carson Wentz still coming back. I thought he retired to his farm.
All right, so the Bell is going to shake things up a little bit.
This first round's been crazy.
This 0.75 tight end premium. I am high on Stowers, but I like Cooper pre-draft. The Jets landing spot, sketchy. Garrett Wilson target competition, but 1st round receiver, I like Cooper. That's all I have to say. I refuse to elaborate on the manner.
Cooper likey.
Same reason I'm taking. I mean, honestly, Claybourne late 2nd, all the drafts like these. Dude, 5th, 6th round running backs feel a lot grosser in previous years than they do in this year. Like seeing KayTron Allen like, in the 2nd round, I'm like, you know what? W pick. Like,
you're like, I need that. This is interesting. I'm surprised both of these players
I didn't see Ty Simpson. I would have taken Ty Simpson.
But I gotta take Ty Simpson. We see this every year. Jackson Dart. We see guys people want to fade. Quarterbacks, heavy level and vet. Got to go with them. I mean, I want to kind of talk about the Jadarian Price 104. I mean, that's why I said whoa before I even realized Chris Bell. Was over Bucky Irving, KC Sadiq.
I've got Simpson ahead of Cooper, by the way. For anyone trying to break down the will ranks through the constant changing throughout the 4 mock drafts,
It's the chaos. It's there's 2 hours and 15 minutes in. It's the chaos of the draft.
It's the me shaking my left leg because I have to pee. It is really what it is.
It's the bladder pick.
My wife wants me to get my prostate checked. We'll figure it out. I'll give you guys updates, future streams, how that goes.
3,000 subscriber special. Yeah. Live prostate check.
Let's go. Oh god.
Will will be doing a mock draft while getting his prostate checked.
We would have let you have the 108. We could have talked through some trade down options for you. I like that you have HN though. That's cool. You try to get Malik Willis too. Honestly, Malik Willis I think is an interesting knock on people's doors. See what the Malik Willis price is, because I think there was a lot of people anticipating that one of these first round receivers was going to go to Miami, especially with them trading away for Waddle or trading Waddle away and having that second one.
Yeah, I think people kind of just feel like they're just like, hey, we're just gonna let him die out there, and maybe that's what their plan is. But he's also someone that I don't think his production for fantasy will be impacted a ton by his weapons in the passing game, because his ability to run the ball make him have a very safe floor, given that they don't have a ton of weapons. They're probably gonna rely on him running the ball a lot more than throwing it.
I don't see, shout out to Echelon. I don't see a good reason to not take Price there. I'm going to pull up some names. We'll probably end up doing this post mock drafts because I want to take a minute to spend on it, because I do think the Jadarian Price will be very interesting in rookie drafts. And I want to look at next season. I'm going to ask you, Jeremy, which running back you think is going to score more fantasy points. And I'm going to pull up Underdog and see where Jadarian Price is currently. That's a half PPR redraft format. Best ball.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you some names.
I'm curious because I think the biggest wild card is Price. Because I can sit here and say Price is to 104 isn't crazy. First round draft capital, great offense, great defensive situation. And Sharps isn't coming back, and even if Sharps does halfway through the year, you're going to kind of know if he's good or not. Yeah. That being said, do you want to take the 104 on him? That's tough.
Singleton. All right, KayTron Allen's still there. I think I probably would still go. I don't know how sneaky I want to get with my picks.
Oh, let's get sneaky.
Well, I'm thinking if
we're 2.5 hours in, man, it's sneaky time.
No. I'll take Branch here. I think Branch is one of my favorites. All right, the poop emoji's coming out. What were we talking about? We were talking about the price.
Yeah,
you said
the price
something.
of Jadarian Price.
All right, I remember. The only tough thing with Price, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen the other late first running backs over the past decade, where you have names like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, you have names like Rashad Penny.
People like that comp.
You have names. Now, granted, some of the names that do get brought up, I think, are injury stuff, situation stuff, like where Najee Harris is right now. It's just, to me, it's very tough for me to push him ahead of Tyson for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Top 10 NFL draft capital wide receivers, hit rate versus running backs, late first through the second round. I feel a lot better about. And the receiving stuff, Echelon and other people do you think that Price could be a third down guy? Because I think you can explain away the receiving production or the overall production with Love there, and then obviously the role that he has. I just don't feel confident I've seen enough. But maybe it's if Seattle's taking him there, they're confident that he could. I do like that pick 3-4 KayTron.
Well, yeah, that's the hard part with Price, because Price I get the knocks against Price, but also I'm like, you're behind Jeremiah Love. So like a lot of the production concerns, I'm not super scared of. I mean, people said Kenneth Walker isn't a good receiving back. People, like there's been times where it's like, hey, that's just not how he's utilized in the game, especially when you have a guy like Jeremiah Love there. It's hard to really get a good taste on. How is it the way they're calling the offense that it's not giving him the ball, or is it actually a limitation to the player? But I do have concerns about the injury, and I do think the profile isn't the most interesting, where I'm like last year, I was like, Marion Hampton gets that first round draft capital. I'm all freaking in. I'm all freaking in because that guy is electric. I'm like, that the profile, the production, he dominated.
Mm-hmm.
Price, I'm like, I like that he got the late first. It's just hard to say. Like the wide receivers are such safe bets when compared to Price, because not even though like Mekhi Lemon is a safe player, but I sit there and I'm like, I know Mekhi Lemon year 2 isn't going to be cratered, where I could see Price going out, just laying an egg, being awful. And then his value is not, Caleb Johnson, but it's like JCM, where it's like, okay, like the guy that we thought he is not who he is. He's just a guy.
All right, Riley, you sniped me there. All right, Malachi Fields. Talked about in the big boys.
Will is back at the drawing board right now.
I know. I try to I was kind of looking ahead because I got kind of caught with my.
I can see you're getting a little cocky. You're like, okay, I got this.
Well, I was ready. I was like, I have a chat pulled up where I was going to talk about the hot take here from Kai, and now I'm stalling as I'm flicking over the names. All right, Emit Johnson. I'll take Malachi Fields. I think 310, similar bet to some other receivers that are going here. Hot take to say that Price have a better rookie season than Love. I mean, obviously
I don't think that's crazy.
A hot take, but what percentage chance would you give it?
How hot is it? It's probably 2 peppers of Thai.
2 Thai
sauce.
peppers.
Like it's the 2 Thai peppers. Not super spicy. Like it doesn't. You definitely feel the heat, but it's not burning your tongue off.
I think draft capital roll too. I know people. I don't know, man. I don't want to be an Emmanuel Wilson defender. That's not the kind of person I want to be.
There we go. This Emmanuel Wilson.
Obviously, you take a running back in the first round. With some of the needs the Seahawks had too. They lost some players in the secondary. Yeah.
The thing too is he's going to be playing on a good team. They're probably going to have to lead a decent amount.
People didn't want to start.
They're going to be able to pound the rock.
Dude, people were benching Kenneth Walker last year, and I get that it was a little bit of the Charbonnet split stuff, but in terms of production expectations, and that's kind of why I want to do this, where I'm gonna read you some names, and I want chat to tell me who you're taking. So we're gonna go through one by one. I want you to tell me Price or the other player that I list. We'll do it right after this mock. Then we'll have our final questions. Then we'll all go potty. Deal? So we're at the 4-2. Works here. Okay.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think Love is better long term for sure, and it's nowhere near an Marion Hampton level prospect. I think too, Echelon was Hampton great last year? I think the biggest issue with Hampton was just the injuries, and then he came back and that offensive line was decimated. And we saw that throughout the playoffs, and even then he was still all right, but he was on a snap share towards the second half of the year. But I mean, I think it was week 4, week 5, he was crushing it. So, the important thing is the last sentence he said. He didn't lose value, which is something that you want. You want a player that if everything doesn't go right, his value is still there. It gives you the flexibility going into next year. That's my hesitation with Price. Is if Price had a Marion Hampton style year, I don't think his value would be. I think it would lose a decent amount of value. Where Hampton has more of that insulation based on the vibes of it all.
Yeah. Eagles drafting premier
Yeah,
wide receiver
Beck
and tight end.
should be an
Play over the
early
middle.
to mid-second.
Yeah, I mean, my hope is too that a lot of this like offensive coordinator FUD last year, that it is a big upgrade going to I mean I wish it was a different name than Mannion, but I don't know, maybe I'm just too hopeful. All right, we do still have Brennan Thompson. Okay. I think my favorite thing about these kind of bets is like I am not making year one production bets outside of the running backs with like all these receivers that I'm taking past like the start of the second, honestly. So to me, if there are prospects you like, this feels like such get your guy season. I like Andrews too.
Yeah, I mean, this is a draft where if I draft a random wide receiver mid-second, third, fourth, I'm not going to lose sleep over, oh man, this other running back got 5 snaps and got a touchdown, 5 carries for 12 yards and a touchdown. I'm like, who cares?
Yeah, but my thing with the maintaining value thing is I totally get and understand it, but I'm more so comparing it to Tyson. So like if your Tyson thing is like totally injury focused and like that scares you so much that you don't want to make that bet, to me, I am just like, man, the upside of like Kellen Moore, Saints offense that uses motion at such a high rate. Like Shuck looked a lot better than expected rookie year. Wide receiver room is Devon Vele. Like I think very, very much set up to have a meaningful role, week one for a team that I'm excited about. Yeah, the optimism. Yeah, I just think like and it's 100% my price thing with him, me wanting to take him more so for sure after the top 5 and him being my like, I'm deciding between 6 or 7 based off of league format team has more to do with 100% I'm leaning into how I felt about the prospect. I'm going to say it. I did not think he was going to go in the first. I thought he was a mid second, late second guy at best. So, I mean, it's 100% a flaw in like my perceived.
Well, yeah, and I think that's kind of the issue, the biggest issue I have with prices. I think a lot of people will still hold on. Like he is a first rounder, but he's the last pick. And he's also someone that a lot of people don't see in the same way as like a Hampton, where Hampton was kind of a mid first, and he was always seen as a first round talent. It was like, there's so many running backs, maybe he'll get pushed to the second, but it was never, he should be a second to third round player. This draft is one where the narrative is more, there's only like 12 first round talent players in this class or so. So a lot of people are going to fly up the board.
Yeah. And I think if you have Price at your 103 or 104, like it's Jeremiah Love, whatever, everyone devalues the quarterback, so Mendoza goes closer to 4 or 5. If it's Love, Tate, Price for you, I mean, I implore you to see what the trade down is to the 104, like to move back one spot for somebody coming up to take Tyson. Because I think the general consensus will be that Price enters the conversation after, depending on how Mendoza's valued, after those 2 receivers for the most part.
I think the consensus best would be him at 105, and I think it would probably fall 106. I think people will still talk themselves into Bucky Irving, first round draft capital, decent offense, no AJ Brown. Like there's enough to be like, sure, we'll give it a shot. Then like you do have the out of, okay, Bucky Irving didn't do as well as we hoped. Well, Jalen Hurts sucks, and that could be the narrative, not Bucky Irving sucks.
Yeah,
like there's an off ramp.
Yeah. What is the, like, what lines are you dividing in terms of, so I know you're talking about round 1 running backs versus round 1 receivers, but we do see a handful of receivers in most drafts go in that kind of like 20 range. Like obviously the hits in the 20s are like the Zay Flowers, JSN, versus like Jordan Addison versus, this year we've got KC, Cooper in the 30s. Like if you're including those in the sample, I think it's different than top 10 receivers. Because when we're talking top 10 receivers, Marv feels like a miss, but where he's valued right now, that feels like the biggest top 10 miss recently at the wide receiver position when you have guys like I mean, I'm not comparing Tyson to Neighbors or Chase or these other guys, but if you went back through like receivers drafted in the top, probably even top 12, like that's the Olave, London, Neighbors, Chase, like those hit rates, I think are much higher than.
Yeah, and I mean that's why I don't think he can jump over Tyson, even with the injury concerns, unless something crazy happens.
It's time. We're finishing with the Price combo. Shout out to Dynasty Savvy. I took Price at the 102 in the league. 0.25 PPC. I mean, PPC definitely changes the equation of making them bad, but that I still think that is. I don't know if you for sure would go there, even in that high of point per carry. I mean, for sure 103. I think
I'd probably do that in a point per carry like that.
All right. Who's scoring more fantasy points this next season? These are all running backs that have similar ADP to Jadarian Price in Underdog. All right. Though this is the one name behind him. Rico Dowdle or Price. If you had to bet, who scores more fantasy points next season? Chat, you guys answer too. Rico or Price? Just next season.
I'm going Price, I think. It's just a muddy backfield. Jaylen Warren's still there.
Yeah. Not an offense you love. I mean, last year, the running back production definitely leaned more into Kenneth Gainwell getting 8 targets a game versus that.
Yeah, and that kind of leans more into Jaylen Warren's style of game anyway than Rico Dowdle.
All right, we got the Price all day. So that is the one name that Price is ahead of currently on Underdog. So all the other names I'm going to read, and obviously this will change, like more drafts will be happening and those will be adjusted. ADP.
I'll take Iguodala.
Let's go. I haven't heard that in a minute.
One of the best sports bits.
That will live forever. All right, to me,
yeah, that's like a decade.
Most people I'll take Iguodala. To me, take a look at this, y'all. Stephen A. Smith posting the text image.
The JPEG.
I bring it up once every 3 weeks. That cracks me up so much. I love that.
That does.
All right, we got to go way up higher. All right, next up. All right, so I'm removing Rico. All right, next name. This is all ordered in ADP. So we're going to be getting higher and higher. Jadarian Price or DeAndre Swift? Who scores more fantasy points next season?
I'll probably go Swift. There's not. I mean, Monungai was interesting, but still, I mean, that offense moves fast. Swift plays a key role, and is the true RB1 right now. So yeah,
all right, we got some Swifts by far. All right, we're gonna go the other way now. So I lied about us going up.
Oh, we got the prices are coming in. The
price easy.
Right.
Price.
We got another Iguodala.
We can talk. We're talking PPR. Yeah, I think most Underdog is tough. Underdog is half PPR, but we'll just talk PPR. I think most people play in PPR leagues. Delusion. All right. Well, I think those would be closer ones because I think the rest of them would be too far. So I'm gonna get closer. All right. Price or Chuba Hubbard? Just a little bit of the Jonathan Brooks mystery
Chuba.
box.
I lean Chuba. Brooks is still there, but I still think, I mean, Chuba's got the deal. Invested, addressed. I think the biggest winner to that thing too is spent the first round pick to address the issue with no Icky at left tackle. So probably some investment there. I think it's close though.
We've got a Price lover, and I oh man, I don't know. Kenneth Walker is the line.
I think we got a flag plant for sure.
All right, which
I
of
do
these
think
names?
Jonathan Brooks could be good, but I'm not. Jonathan Brooks right now is a Manuel Wilson tier.
All right, this question is only for Echelon. All right, I'm gonna list off names.
Bijan Robinson.
Which of these names are you taking the other? All right, Bucky, Javonte, Kyron, Brees, Travis Achan. Are you taking Price over any of those names? I'm just talking. I'm talking PPR points this upcoming season, which I think you do get a little bit of it's kind of tough, like rookie. You're a little behind the 8 ball in terms of like is Price getting 15 carries? I'm doing the Walker line. This is why it's just for Echelon.
The Kai is a
here's the thing, though.
Price over Bucky, but then take Swift over Price.
I think like the Dynasty conversation I think is interesting because I think we all see the Walker as the line, and it's like insane to us. Okay. Except we got a sneaky Price over Bucky. All right, that's just a Bucky hater. Get out of here, Kai.
Yeah, like, come on. But I do think Swift over Price and then say Price over Bucky.
I think it's tough in this class too because of the fall off at the running backs after. Honestly, after Jeremiah Love, but after Price too. But if you want to get Jadarian Price, like there are going to be, I'm not just saying they're going to be echelons in your league that take it way ahead of ADP. Like I think legitimately first round running back enters the conversation for most people. I think most people after Tate and Tyson, but we echelons talking about, ahead of Tyson. So if you believe and think like Price is legitimately, 18 touch a game guy for a Seahawks offense that, literally won the Super Bowl last year. Good game script. If he's the goal line guy, Sharp's returning from the injury, like if that's all true, then echelon's right. I think it's just, to me, I'm a little sketched out about that being him giving you meaningful enough production to not take the top 10 receiver is where I'm talking about.
Yeah. And I think that's why I can totally justify that. Like I have a couple 105s. I get every day, every 6 hours, I have a different answer on Price or Makai Lemon. But there's not a question about I'm taking the top 10 draft capital wide receiver Tyson Tate. I'm going to ride with that. And like you said, there's a lot of question marks to Price's profile to begin with. The Seahawks, outside of being forced to because Sharps is out with Kenneth Walker in the playoffs, they always like to split their running backs. They signed Emmanuel Wilson. Sharps is going to come back during the season. Like there's so much of being like, but what about Jonathan Brooks? What about all these other guys? I'm like, that's going to still happen for Price.
Yeah.
32nd draft capital is not too high for him to be like given a red carpet treatment. It's not Jeremiah Love, where even though you have James Conner and Trey Benson and all these other guys, it's like, no, Jeremiah Love has got the runway.
This is like Swoosh Gazer calls out a little bit here. What about the Seahawks offense is going to change to support these running back numbers? They're going to split carries. I do think like you can lead, like obviously the lead bet is the running back they just took at the end of the first round in the NFL draft, regardless of how you feel about this class. I totally get and understand that. But I do think I am not 100% confident. And it's kind of going back to like, once again, the college production stuff is so tough with Jeremiah Love there, but it is like, I don't feel confident that Price is like, that the Seahawks are going to trust him as the back they use in, third down, pass pro stuff, that he's going to have the goal line roll, that he's going to be, the long down and distance, 2-minute drill running back. Like, I'm not confident in any of those, even as a first round running back, which sketches me out taking him at the, 103, 104 in rookie drafts. But I've been wrong before, many a time. I know, it's hard to believe. But I have been wrong. Kubiak is the main person wanting to split carries. Yeah. I just think the NFL's changed, man. I think we live in a different world than we lived in, 10 seasons ago.
My question to that would be like, does the new guy want to split carries too? There's a lot of teams that split carries. And I could see, and I do think what Echelon said, new OC is that's a giant wild card. We don't know what the offense will look like. Even though it's a good team, there could be a lot of changes to that offense that we do not know how it will shake out. Draft capital, low mileage, all these things are good points. And that's why, to me, I'm like, yes, I could take him at the 105. I just can't bump him over a top 10 draft capital wide receiver. You got to be a Marvin Harrison Jr. level of bad. And even then, you have how many off-ramps with guys like that? You have so many. You could be Corey Davis, and you can still get a first for Corey Davis 3 years after you picked him because the draft capital means a ton. The Makai Lemon versus Price conversation is a completely different thing because I could see the conversation with that. And that is a mental conversation I'm still having with myself every day. Is he the 105 for me?
I'm a big Lemon guy.
106? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a big Lemon guy, and obviously, you can hear my like fear of the true Price upside. Like I no doubt think Price locked and loaded would put him in like RB 20 through 30, but to me it's more of a how impactful is that for my teams versus how much I like the prospect lemon, even if the situation is not exciting. All right. Do we want to hit? I see. I'm gonna have you do this one. I'm gonna pull up live stream asks that we'll hit quick. We've got 2 in there. One's a quick question and one's actually I think they're both quick team pull ups. But CAC
cool.
Traded out of the 103.
CAC
Sent the 103, 107, and 206 with Swift for Jeanty. 12-team Superflex. I see this as an overpay, but I hold 427 once and was thin a halfback. Was it too much of an overpay? 103, 107, and
so you traded the 103, the 107,
Swift.
the 206, and Swift for Jeanty, 12-team Superflex. I mean, I'm going to be 100% honest. Jeanty is kind of rare air in terms of investment from a team. And I don't think it's that much of an overpay. I mean, what you give up? You gave up KC Concepcion. You gave 206. You gave up nothing. Okay, let's be honest. We've done all these mock drafts, and every time we get to the 206, we're like, God, can we go to the next mock draft? The first round's the only fun part of this draft. Swift 103. I think this is fine. I mean, I think it's the price of admission if you're going to get an elite level producer. It is 12-team. I think it depends a lot on how many starters you have. Now, if you're starting to get 12-team, start 11, start 12, then maybe that 107 comes into play. Maybe KC Concepcion or whoever's in that range becomes a viable starter for you. But otherwise, I feel confident that consolidating, getting a guy that has true stud upside is worth it in a 12-team Superflex league. So, and I mean, you hold 4 27s. You did all of that without giving your 27s. I feel pretty good about that.
All right, I've got one here I'm about to pull up. Shout out to Patty Mills. That
Patty
Big
Mills
DS actually responded to in shout out to Big DS, double shout out in the live stream ask channel. But I'm gonna pull it up real quick. This is a pretty nasty team.
I appreciate you.
Me?
Ooh, we got a super team.
You appreciate me? So, are we talking to somebody else?
I was talking to Kako.
Oh,
I also appreciate you though.
So appreciate it. Oh, I see. appreciate you too, Kako, and you, Jeremy. All right. Here we go. Patty Mills.
All around.
Thoughts on what to do with the 108? The Jacobs Barkley owner is open to acquiring the 108. What would you feel comfortable adding to the pick to either? Would you add seconds to the pick and try to get DJ Moore too? So looking at this team, it's a shallower league. Superflex, I think it's just a start. A 14 team though. 14 team start 9. Lamar, JD5, Jackson Dart, Derrick Henry, Chuba, Algier. I mean, I 100% would love. It's a dream trade to move the 108 on this team to find a way to get Jacobs or Barkley. Amon-Ra, Rome, Rice,
no, for sure.
Kelsey, Kittle, Dulcich. Yeah, I'm adding whatever. Do you care about the DJ Moore side? Like adding DJ Moore as a 4th receiver to this team with Pittman, Shaheed?
I mean, you're pretty shallow at receiver, so I don't mind it. I guess waivers is probably pretty dead. So I don't mind saying, yeah, let me try to get a DJ Moore.
Oh, I'm surprised.
But I'm not going to overkill. Yeah, to me, it's like if I can get Barkley and it's like, oh, well, I don't want to do Barkley plus DJ Moore. Like I would probably look like 108 for Jacobs and DJ Moore or Barkley for the 108. And then, you might need to add a third or something. Yeah. But I don't want to overpay for the DJ Moore price. I can find wide receiver flex production week 4, week 5, week 6 when there's a random guy that could be a viable starter in certain weeks. I don't need to worry about that now, especially pay up for the price of the Bills wide receiver 1 that has a high price tag for probably what you're going to get because DJ Moore hasn't really put together a decent year in a few years.
All right, 108. Would you do 108 and one of these 27 seconds for Barkley or Jacobs?
For Barkley, I probably would.
Yeah, I would too. I would do that. I'm not too
Jacobs,
worried about. And I think the issue is once you start adding you're adding multiple seconds to get DJ Moore and I mean maybe this team ends up starting DJ Moore, but I mean you probably are just you could play Kittle and Kelsey, hold on to your seconds. So I'm probably just doing but like Dia said, I would add whatever picks. If he wants a second and a third to do that, I'm doing that.
Yeah, you gotta even out the trade calculator for him.
All right, Walker was the line for Dynasty. Okay, true. That makes sense. Okay, that's fair. I'm still not with it, but I get it, and I respect it. Yeah.
We respect the hustle.
Were there any other...
Are you, by the way, are you somehow related to Jadarian Price?
This pricing is going to be fascinating because I definitely was a Price hater.
Pick broke my brain. And there's enough negatives about Price, but it's like first round draft capital, Super Bowl team, clear runway for at least 6 weeks or so. Like it's tough to like. There's a strong bull case for him now.
Yeah, and I mean it's also like the bear case about Charbonnet. Like that's still a running back coming back from an injury.
Yeah, but there's enough there.
The issue is
not really a justice agent. Good response.
That's funny. All right, I see Hemp and Hillbilly in the chat, but I see LR Gates, who I've seen before. Don't have the... Took over this orphan 10 minutes ago. The draft is in 20 hours. And 101 is his team's only asset.
It was a put me in coach moment.
Shout out to you, though. Oh, okay, this is LR Gates. I was right. Let's go. Oh, my goodness. We are trusting the process indeed. All right, let me see if I need to write out this message or if I can just pull this up. I think the first move is to get the 27 first back, even if it costs me love straight up. Right or wrong? Okay, interesting. Ooh. This is fascinating. All right. Just took over this team's orphan. Draft is in 20 hours. Shout out to you, LR Gates. Thank you to everyone that takes over orphans. You are what makes the world go round in the Dynasty space. We appreciate you. And what's the opposite of a shout out? Screw you if you are leaving leagues like this where you traded away your 27 first. Unshout out you.
I feel like this is one of those teams that like we need to like what was that other team where that guy is like, I just took over this team. It was just like crumpled paper and like trash. Or like, I don't even know what to do, man. You just gotta like pay dues for 3 years and get through it.
I mean, there's just no world where this team's competing this year. So which team has their first?
I think the hard part is like, what are you honestly like?
How does that work?
Are you going to give a plus?
Well, so Jeremiah Love, I think, is a pretty fair.
It's a Better Call Hall. Frisky team.
And their number one is RB. Oh man, and their number one is I guess this team would still take the 101. All right, Mahomes, Hurts, Bijan, Travion, Brees, Worthy, Shakir, Ferguson. All right, would you move Jeremiah Love for your 27 first?
I probably would. I mean, this team is pretty much locked in to 101, so it's a Jeremiah Smith party.
Is there any other tanking teams?
It hurts, but it's a running back, and this team probably needs at least 2 years of consistent draft capital before you're like, yes, a high value running back makes sense on my roster. And if I'm picking a running back now and I don't have a first round pick next year, that means it's going to be 2 years before I actually get another shot at getting high level draft capital. It also means like, I think players like a Luther Burden is another option of like, can I get a 27 first for him? Can I get something to reset my window to I'm adding all these pieces at the right time instead of like, oh, I get one good player, but everyone else on my team is just like dust.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to, I mean, there's no question the team that has this first knows that this team is terrible, but I don't think Jeremiah Love is like, I mean, I think even knowing that this team is the 2027 101, I don't think it's, you're out going like Luther Burden to that room. I think let's start there. Wait, what was it? It was I already forgot. What was the team's name?
Better Call Hall.
Better call Hall. Okay.
If you sort by starter rank, they're the second worst team.
Okay.
So they might not be super interested.
Well, I was thinking
in it,
like,
but maybe a Luther Burden.
You add Jeremiah Love, Luther Burden to this team. Like, can I get my first back? I mean, they probably wouldn't want to move their 27 first.
He added in the Discord he wants Love and Burden for his pick back, and I think at that point I'm just going to say, no.
You just treat Jeremiah Love like Jeremiah Smith. Like, it's unfortunate. I don't know, man. What do you even do? I think you're just kind of screwed.
You can't burn value. You can't burn your 2 shots. Like, you have 2 players that have any sort of relevancy and value in this league, and you can't say I'm going to take both of them and ship them for one player when my team sucks.
Yeah,
like this to me, this is a team where if I can get anything relevant for like a Golden, a Michael Wilson, a Higgins, like I'm going to be nickel and diming. Can I get thirds and move up to seconds and then stitch together a second in Matthew Golden and get a first and like try to squeeze out a first or a first from somewhere. But I cannot sell both Burden and Jeremiah Love for one first, even if it is a 22-year-old, never will get injured, CMC guaranteed production for 10 years. Like you have to have multiple spots here. I mean, the benefit is 10 team. It's not super deep, but it's deep enough to where I'd rather have multiple valuable players because, hey, we've talked about selling Burden. Burden hype is getting real. What if Burden hits? Like, what if Burden hits and becomes a true top 10 dynasty wide receiver, and you also have Jeremiah Love, and then you're like sitting here and you're like, oh man, like if I traded both of those for one guy, even though he is wide receiver 1 in dynasty, it's hard. It's hard to like swallow that with the value you have on this roster.
What happened to this team? Like, how? What did we get for that 27 first? Was this like a Trey Lance? You could trade first like 5 years in advance, and they move their 2027 first for like I can't even process. Will the trade tree show
the trade tree have it? No, I think you might have to. You could load the previous year, but I don't have the league ID for that.
Okay, if I didn't have to pee so bad, I would do some more research in on this.
I think this is one of those ones you just take the medicine.
Josh Downs, Tank Dell, like Michael Wilson, Luther Burden, like there are some assets that could be moved on this team this year that could do something.
You have to sell them when the market's hot, though. Like going right now and being like, hey, in May to anyone, hey, you want a Michael Wilson? People will be like, dude, get out of here. Like, get out of here, man. But it's when it's like, oh crap, all I have is Khalil Shakir. Then Michael Wilson will look better when Jacoby Brissett's throwing the ball 50 times a game.
There we go. Just get Antonio Williams. Hey, you get him there at the...
Yeah, just get Antonio Williams. That 101's actually Antonio Williams.
No, that's brutal. Shout out to you, Hempen Hillbilly, taking over this.
I think the response you say is like, man, I took over this desperate orphan. Like, come on, you're gonna just I'll give you the 101 this year. Like, just let me like build this team back. Right?
You just kind of treat it like, and I know it hurts to do the running back thing. You don't have your 27 first. Like, you just kind of treat it like, I mean, Bijan versus Jamar Chase, right? You just kind of pretend that it's Jeremiah Love versus Jeremiah Smith. So
you get Jeremiah Love. Yeah,
I'm not adding Luther Burden with this team.
And hell, like if you really want the 2027 first, like go to who has the 102 and just like be like, here's Jeremiah Love. Like next year, the 102 team, Jeremiah Love, it's going to be a decent conversation. Like Jeremiah Love will hold value. You can move him. I'm not going to try to consolidate when I don't have a ton of value on my roster. Like you got to make every single player worth it. Like you got to break players apart. Like it could be a draft Jeremiah Love and then I break him into 2 players and try to build off of that and like keep breaking them. And especially injuries. That's the key thing. Like if Bijan gets hurt or something crazy, like if Malik Neighbors gets injured, those are the players you go after with these guys and try to just stack an IR squad of somewhat valuable players.
Yeah, like this guy, like if you want to go to the conversation, like this guy's wide receiver room being terrible, like what should happen is you respond back and say, okay, screw you, first of all. If you want Love and Burden, I'm giving you like the 101 stud this year and like Burden Burden's a first plus right now. Like, give me my first back and give me, either your first or another future first. Like, try to see if you can handle it that way. But yeah, that's ridiculous. All right,
yeah, I mean it's tough.
What's up, Mess Leaf? All right, I gotta pee. Mess Lelef. My bad. We almost made 3 hours. Dang, rough landing spots.
We're 5 minutes away. We probably will.
Any closing thoughts? We will be live Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. I'll work on the thumbnail tomorrow, probably. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the most interesting part, and we talked about it towards the end of the draft, is the Jadarian Price draft pick landing spot investment is by far the most interesting part of the actual draft, right? We were not expecting first round draft capital, and where he is can really change how this draft goes. We all kind of knew seconds would be somewhat worthless, but the fact that we have this one interesting player, I think that's going to be something to really watch as the time develops. And those later rookie drafts might look very different than the early ones that we have. So I'm really excited about that. I mean, obviously, I wish the class delivered a little bit more, but we kind of knew what we were up against with this class. But, like we said, Tuesday night, we'll be doing more mock drafts and just continuing to rip all of this stuff, breaking down everyone's trades. So we got exciting stuff there. And I'll say this too. If y'all are wanting to get a little bit creative here, I do want to add more little rare tiers to the power rankings tool, like little more interesting ones. So if y'all have any ideas around different ideas for tiers, feel free to post them in the Discord. We could talk about them. Tons of new features on the site. Continuing to push stuff. I got more announcements ready, locked and loaded for this week as well. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably be putting together a video for a new club exclusive captured war metric where we use historical roster like starting percentages to determine how much of the war was actually captured in your type of format. Meaning, like Gabe Davis dropping 3 touchdowns on a random day that no one started him isn't going to impact. No one started that unless it's best ball. So it's kind of interesting, and we can kind of break down some of those metrics too once we, get into a little bit more of a quiet time of the season. As of obviously right now, it's just let's rip rookie drafts and see where everyone stands.
Yeah. And real quick here before we dip, could use some help before you go. If I got Olave and I'm at the 103, assuming 1 is 11, 2 is Tate, is it bad to go Tyson at 3? Yeah, I'm a big, just like John P. called out, best player available to, I mean, the beautiful part about Dynasty, a lot more active than, redraft fantasy in terms of you being able to move Tyson or Olave. And I'm a big on the Saints overall situation. I talked about it earlier in the stream. Like I'm a Kellen Moore believer. The, pace that team played at, the motion stuff. I believe in Kellen Moore to get the best out of Tyson and Olave. And the whole wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 stuff, I think it's difficult to that's not what I wanted to say. I believe in Tyson. I'm excited about the situation. I'd go BPA.
I agree.
I think would give you better.
In general, with rookie drafts especially, you just usually want to go BPA. Unless if it's within a same tier. If you're sitting there being like, the tier is so close, like I have Tyson and Lemon or Tyson and Price, the same tier.
Yeah.
But
or
to
like
me,
Mendoza,
that's the end of
and
the
you
tier
need a
break,
quarterback.
and you just go. Yeah. Like it's, you look at the tier, but if it's literally like, this is the last guy I have in this tier, then you just go with that. And you can always trade and figure out if you don't want to be so consolidated in the Saints later on.
Yeah. I feel like my decision to go different ways has a lot more to do with differences in my league format or the way I know my league handles certain positions. If trading for running backs is difficult to do, and you want to take Price and trade down or whatever. But all right, I'm gonna go potty. Appreciate you all. Thank you for hanging. See you Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
3
Join
hours.
the Discord. Link in the description. Shall I let the outro play for 50 seconds while I go pee so that we hit the 3 hour mark?
You got to hit the 3 hour mark.
All right, we can hit the 3 hour mark. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Rookie draft season is upon us. I will. If we are going to hit the 3-hour mark, I will add in.
I think we already hit it, but you're good.
Oh, nice. Join the Discord. Link in the description. We will be posting the Google form links to join and sign up for the Dynasty Daddy Community Leagues.
That's
We've got
true.
3 going right now, and we will have more in this offseason. We'll be starting those. All right. Peace. Thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Peace.
Out.
Out.